comes to talk. And, oh boy, have the Democrats screwed this one up. The Democrats have made what likely is the worst decision in the history of the Democrat Party since they started the Civil War, okay? The Democrats have screwed up in so many major ways. We're going to cover it all. And this is such a great thing for the MAGA movement. And we're going to go through it all on the program today. All right? So you guys just stand by as I set up. Now, I'm going to, in the beginning, go through Comrade Zohran's victory speech, which is the most frightening political speech I've ever heard in my freaking life. And to see and hear that as I go through it, you're going to have to go to my mainstream, which I'm linking up now, in the description of the video. That was really a scary, scary speech that he gave, no doubt about it. If you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. And I will be taking calls. Okay. Okay. Just a moment, guys. All right. Here we go. I'm going to start the mainstream. Now again, guys, if you're watching with the green screen, to hear the audio and everything that I play, you have to go to my main live stream. I'm going to go through his whole psychotic victory speech, which is frightening. So here we go. I'm starting the mainstream now. So again, the link to my mainstream where you can see and hear all the video and audio is in the description. All right. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. So Zohran Mamdani won the mayor's race, and there were some Democrat victories last night. And I love these commentators and these liberals. They're celebrating Democrat victories in blue cities and states. I mean, yeah, shocker. Wow. So they beat themselves? I mean, I don't understand why this is something they're getting so excited. We beat ourselves! We won in the Democrat areas. Well, gee whiz. Oh, what a bunch of desperate people, desperate for a victory. However, Zohran Mamdani, Comrade Zohran, his victory speech is frightening. In fact, I will tell you, this is the most frightening speech I've ever heard a politician give, ever, I think, maybe in history. The only one second to this is the Gates from Hell speech of Joe Biden in Philadelphia during the Autopin regime. You want to talk about two-face. His entire personality changed after he didn't need the votes anymore. We got to see what Mamdani was really like, and he is a dangerous monster, as you're going to hear. I am going to play his entire victory speech in just a moment. We're going to go through it. We'll talk about it. It is scary as can be, and we're getting to see, oh, that smile is fake. You know what I would compare it to? You ever known someone? This usually happens with women, right? They got a husband or a boyfriend. It's usually a husband. He's nasty. He's nasty. He's verbally abusive. He may be even physically abusive. He's rude to her. He does all kinds of terrible things. And when you talk to her, she talks about when we were dating, he bought me roses and took me on hot air balloon rides, and we ran through the rain. And then as soon as we got married, he turned into this monster. That's Zohran, Comrade Zohran. And so let's go through it. We will take your calls. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live stream. I'll tell you this. Comrade Zohran and the Democrat Party gave President Trump and the MAGA movement a great gift. They really, truly did. So let's go through it. Comrade Mamdani, Comrade Zohran, and his frightening victory speech. Let's go. Now, if you're watching on the live stream with the green wall behind me, to see and hear the audio and visual that I'm playing, you have to go to my main live stream on YouTube. The link is in the description. Yes. See if it drops the accent on you. And by the way, Eugene Debs is he's quoting a well-known socialist communist. See, this is 100% communism. This is communism textbook. Everything out of his mouth. See, you know what he's saying here is the communist revolution has been successful in New York City. That's exactly what he's saying. The communist revolution has been successful. Done with this democratic socialism lie. Yeah. Comrade Zohran. Wow. You know, talk about not only is this he starts by quoting a socialist commie, but I've never heard such an ungracious concession speech about the opponent before. This is the last time I will utter his name. The people have risen. This is freaking frightening. Think about this. Just a few months shy of 25 years since 9/11, the mayor is going to be sworn in on a Quran. Scary, huh? If you're on hold, hang in there. What the heck is that? What kind of that is that's not some New York slang. What did he say? Does anyone know what that means? Oh boy, here we go. Mm. 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 Oh my goodness. You know, this is, and if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go through his victory speech, and then we'll take calls. I don't want to play it. I'll play sound bites of it later on, but I want to play the whole thing here early on before the radio show starts. This scares the living daylights out of me. Does it scare you? And what was that Assalamualaikum thing? What was that he said? If you know, let me know. This is the ugliest victory speech I've ever heard, and this is the greatest gift the Democrats could give to Donald Trump and MAGA. I work 7 days a week. So. Oh boy, yes, the communist. That's what he's saying. The communist. Mm. See, this is an angry monster who's bent on revenge against anyone who's white. That's right, and an American. No, we are. Believe me, Comrade Zohran, we are. Yeah. Electoral. Mm. Baba. Never heard that one before. So there goes the accent. You see the accent slip there. Hayeti. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I rewound it by accident. I got to hold on a second here. I got to fast forward a little bit. I want to play the entire speech before the radio show just in sound bites because I think most people haven't heard the whole speech. And you really have got to hear, if you're on hold, stand by. You've got to hear the entire speech. I'll play sound bites later to capture this scary, frightening, full-blown red commie that Comrade Zohran is. And his mission is to destroy New York and enact revenge. Mm. Mm. Who the hell is that? Who are all these? Who are all these people he's quoting? Who? Let me see if I don't even know how to spell that to look it up. I don't know who these people are he's quoting. Mm. See? Seizure of property, seizure of private property. Fast and free. Oh, free. Oh my goodness. Communism 101 right here. Mao's little red book. Yeah, the communist revolution. Hire thousands more teachers. Maybe they could teach him grammar. Oh boy. Hate, in this hateful speech, hate is anyone who dares disagree with Comrade Zohran. Ugh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, here we go. Karen City Hall. Mm. Oh boy. Oh yeah, the new age. Mm. Here we go. Okay, now here he goes. He's going to get into Trump now. Now, again, I'm going to just rewind. I'm playing the entire victory speech now because I want you all to hear it in context, not in sound bites, because I can't play the whole thing in its entirety when the radio show starts. But I will say, these Democrat victories like this, they're celebrating that they defeated MAGA. This is new. These are blue cities and states where they won. But now he's going to get into the president. Listen to this. Comrade Zohran. See that? So this is textbook Marxism, textbook communism. He's talking about seizing private property and business. That's what he's talking about here. Oh my goodness. Boy, the real Mamdani, the real Zohran, just came out of the closet last night. Wow. Mm. Wow. Seizure of private property again. See, millionaires are good because he's a millionaire. Boy, oh boy. Hear the anger? Led by an immigrant, you Americans, you. Arr. Boy, oh boy. The real Mamdani. The smile's fake. So he's talking about a resistance to the ICE deportations of the illegals. He's talking about an insurrection against the federal government of the United States. He's talking about an insurrection, no doubt. Ugh. No, not really. Oh boy. Oh boy. Mm. 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 There we go. Oh my goodness. Is that not frightening? Now, at the beginning, that very ugly, frightening speech, the Democrat Party has finally become the Communist Party. He referenced more than anything the seizure of private property, including, I think he was talking about taking Trump Tower and the Trump property, seizing them from the president. Did it sound that way to you? I want to hear your thoughts. The number is toll free and pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. This is the greatest gift to MAGA and the president we could have gotten. It really, truly is. This guy's a monster. The way I described it at the beginning of the stream, and I'll just say this and go to the phones. This is the real Mamdani that we haven't seen. The real ugly, angry, racist, bigoted, Ameriphobe Mamdani. And the way I describe, here, Ameriphobe, have you ever heard that word? I just coined it. It's a new word. I've just created it. Ameriphobe. That's right. The way I describe this, some of you women may have had this experience in your life. I've known women who have had this story. They're in a marriage. The guy is a monster. He's verbally abusive, sometimes physically abusive. He's just a nasty husband, right? You talk to her, and what does she say? Oh, when we were dating, he was so romantic. We ran through the rain and kissed. He brought roses every Friday. We took a hot air balloon ride on the anniversary of our first month dating. And then when we got married, he became abusive. That's Comrade Zohran right there. Just like that. An Ameriphobe. An Ameriphobe. All right, to the phones we shall go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Richie. I'm telling you, pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, I stayed up to listen to that, and then right after it, they gave me a double bang because they interrupted to give Newsom out in California was almost his worst. I mean,
well, I'm not talking about that right now, Richie. We're talking about this.
No. I know what I'm thinking about, Brian. First of all, when he said, I know President Trump, you're listening, turn your volume up. You know what that was, don't you?
What?
Go F yourself.
That's exactly right.
Go F yourself.
That's right.
And he's telling Trump, and he didn't come out and say it. That's what he wanted.
No, you're right.
That's why everyone laughed.
No, you're absolutely right.
And that's, that is so, and not only that, you hit it right on the head. When when ICE goes into New York City, he's going to turn his little army on ICE. This is going to be. You have. You know what you've seen? The development of Palestine, right on the border.
Well, I got to tell you, in January when he takes the oath, he's going to take the oath on the Quran, just a few months shy of the 25th anniversary of 9/11. What the hell? Who won the war on terror?
Yeah, not just that. At the end, you cut it off at the very end. The music that was playing at the end.
Well, I can't play the music, Richie.
No, I'm saying it was Middle Eastern crap, and I'm listening to this. Brian, I'm in total. The names that he named. Newsmax said that a couple of them were commies.
One of the first one I know is a communist. Okay, was the first quote. The other ones, I'm a pretty well-read and educated person. Some of these references and things he was using, I didn't quite get. But I'll tell you this: he came out of the closet as what he really,
big time.
See, this is a mama's boy, and mommy and daddy have and now for the first time he's a man. He's the mayor. So you've got this mama's boy who's the big man on campus all of a sudden, and we're seeing what's inside of him, an ugliness.
Yeah, Fidel Castro, when he came up, Fidel Castro said America. We're going to change Cuba. The revolution against America, the Yankee imperialists. Well, here you got a guy that's saying to all of America, the Muslims and the immigrants have taken over the city, and
what he's talking about is talking about a few things. He's talking about the seizure of private property, and he's talking about the segregation of Americans, in particular white Americans. He's talking about segregating them. You no longer have a voice or a role or a place here.
This was an very angry speech. I've never heard anything like it in my life. He might as well have had a mustache under his nose, like a little Hitler mustache.
This is worse than Castro's speech. This is worse than Castro's speech. I'll tell you why. One, Castro was in Cuba, not here. Two, Castro said it in Spanish. He said it in English. Right? You understand what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, this is a great gift because the Democrat Party no longer exists. It's officially he's the leader of the party. And it's the Democratic Socialist Party, which is a code word for communist. Everything he talked about was communism. And he's talking about seizing President Trump's properties in New York City. We're going to take away the means to do this. That's Trump Tower, his building down there at Wall Street, and everything else.
Yeah, you're never going to have people that are, in other words, corporations are not welcome there. It's going to be communism. You remember Castro took away...
And they're not worried about this exodus because they're going to have Muslims from around the world emigrate to New York.
The money is going to flow from the Middle East.
Yeah.
The money, he's not worried about the money. People haven't gotten that yet. Well,
Richie, I'm going to move on. You can call back in later, but I'm going to move on and take some other calls. But let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know what he did in that speech? Also, he took a shot at Ronald Reagan by using this shining city line, right?
Yeah.
And what's Ronald Reagan famous for doing?
Shining city on the hill.
Fighting communism.
Yeah, that's right.
Fighting communism. Fighting communism. And by the way, that guy Nehru, he's a former, that he mentioned in his speech, he's a former prime minister of India. Also, guess what? A socialist communist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody he quoted in that speech was a socialist communist.
There you go. Appreciate the call, Mike. Yeah, pretty scary stuff. Let me answer some of these calls. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Nathan.
Yeah. What's on your mind? You okay?
Hold on, I gotta close the YouTube.
Yeah, close down the YouTube.
Sorry, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, that's okay. There's a delay, so you gotta shut. Just listen on the phone. Yeah, what's on your mind? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Nathan, calling from Maryland, but I'm a California native.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, I was just stumbled upon your channel here, and I just with the news with the new mayor being elected in New York, I just got to say that I'm going to sound a little bit like black pill here almost, but, you know, a couple months ago, I think it was a month or two ago, you know, Patrick Bet-David was discussing about, you know, this happening if he got elected, and fortunately he did. And so he basically just said, you know, it's best just to let it fall. Let it happen. Let the New Yorkers who voted this guy in make their bed. Now they got to lay in it. And if it ends up looking like London, so be it.
Well,
Because,
yeah, I mean, you know,
and
New
I'm
York,
not
you know,
shocked. I'm not shocked at this.
I'm not shocked either. You know, their victory, they're celebrating a victory in a Democrat enclave. This is not a defeat of MAGA. And what they've done is they've energized us for the midterms, because that speech last night, when we got to see the true ugly Mamdani, what Comrade Zohan's true personality is like, is going to get worse. The way I described it to the last caller, Mamdani has done nothing in his whole life. He's a mama's boy who's been fed soy milk by mommy and daddy, and he's been under their thumb and their money control and everything else. Now he's the mayor. He's the big man. And you're seeing a very angry man who's got mommy and daddy issues, racial issues. He's an Ameriphobe. He hates Americans. And he is on a rampage. That was one of the ugliest speeches I think anyone has ever given in a victory speech in the history of the United States. I've never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, it's very socialist. It's a very communist way of how it is, and you know, and I've been dealing with this because I've never really brought this up with anybody, because no one really ever talks about it. How, you know, everyone is saying, you know, like, oh, you gotta, you know, fight the fascists. You gotta fight fascism and fascism around every corner. You know, look under your hood, and there's one hiding in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, no one ever seems to bring up that we got a commie issue in this country. It just seems to always never get brought up, or, you know, no one ever says, oh, we got to fight communism. The communists are in this country.
Well, President Trump is,
no one ever
and he's called him out as a communist.
I know, I understand that.
Yeah, and
well, I understand that.
Yeah.
I know he is, but for everybody else, like, you never really hear it. Like, at least from our side, the conservative side, no one is ever saying, oh, we got to go. Communism is a big issue. Everyone says, like, socialism or something like that. But, you know, we see Antifa, we see all these people waving, you know, commie flags, you know, hammer and sickles and all that stuff. And it's like, we never really, you know, go out there just like how the left goes out saying, oh, Nazis everywhere. We got to start going out and saying, there's communists everywhere.
There are.
And the left
one
is always
just got
going to
elected.
argue saying, like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and you know, and we got to start calling it out, you know.
Absolutely.
And what's his face from the 1950s? I forget his name. The guy who was going after them. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the congressman who was going after them back during the Red Scare in America. You know, that guy was right. You know, he found that there was communists hidden in the government. They've been hidden in Hollywood. They've been here ever since. And, you know, we got to start calling that out, because, and that's something that seems to be very acceptable. They always like to say, oh, well, you know, fascists are the bad, you know, and, you know, they are. All right.
You know, you're talking about Joe McCarthy. Joe McCarthy was right, okay, and he was right from day one. He's been maligned by historians like President Nixon's been maligned. However, this is a great wake-up call. And what Mamdani is going to do, Comrade Zohan here is going to do, is push people more towards MAGA. Just like when they shot the president in Butler. There are going to be millions of people red-pilled. And one thing you're going to notice, you're not going to hear MAGA people upset today. MAGA people, you know, screw New York. They did this to themselves. They deserve it. Suffer.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But some of the things that are very concerning, he's talking about an insurrection against the federal government. He's talking about fighting ICE. He's talking about not just rent control property seizure. He made a reference that sounded as if he wants to seize President Trump's New York properties. I mean, this is, we got a very dangerous man in Comrade Zohan. I'm not kidding. This is a very dangerous guy. Now, people may say, well, he doesn't have the authority to do that. He doesn't know that, and he's going to bring in revolutionary people to run all the agencies who are going to attempt to do what you say he's not allowed to do. And they don't care. They answer to somebody else. Not us.
They'll bring in the useful idiots in full force.
Well, they'll bring in CARE. They'll bring in CARE, people like that, Council of American Islamic Relations. Listen, you just found me. Welcome to my program, and make sure you subscribe, okay?
Already did, sir, and I just had to bring that up a little bit.
You're right on the money.
You got to start calling these commies out, and because it's enough of this fascist bullcrap. Because it's like, apparently loving your country and being conservative and having.
Listen, I'm up against the clock, so I got to run. I got to run because I'm up against the clock. All right, no, take care. Okay, take care. We're going to switch over to the radio quickly, so shortly. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take a quick break. All right, we're going to be live on the radio in 1 minute. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to do an opening for the radio show and start taking your calls and talking about this. Pretty scary stuff, people, but that's okay. We will overcome this. And you New Yorkers, stay the hell in New York. We don't want you in Florida. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. So, don't abandon your city, you cowards. All right, we've got 30 seconds. Stand by. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. The toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Callers on hold, you stand by. Mamdani, Comrade Zohran Mamdani won. And, first a message to New Yorkers who are talking about an exodus. You did this, stay there. We don't want you and your stupid decision-making that led to this in Florida, all right? So stay in New York. In the pre-show, for those that don't know, I start the show about 40 minutes to an hour early every day online on YouTube. So make sure you follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. I played in its entirety, from beginning to end, Zohran Mamdani's entire victory speech. I will play highlights and some of it throughout the show this morning. It is an entirely different Mamdani than we've seen before. This nice guy smile act is gone. He turned into the dictator instantly. He hasn't even taken the oath yet on the Quran, and he's turned into a different person. I shouldn't say he turned into a different person. I misspoke. We've seen the real Comrade Zohran right now. That speech that he gave last night was the most angry victory speech, I believe, given in the history of the United States by any politician who's won an election. I've never seen anything as angry as that. He talked throughout the entire speech about seizing property from private owners, and he even suggested that he was going to take President Trump's properties away from him. I'm going to go back a little bit. I'll play this speech as the show goes on in clips, but I want to play this part. So when he starts talking about President Trump, this is Comrade Zohran in his very angry victory speech. Oh, hold on, I got to turn up the volume. Here we go. Okay, so right there, to me, what that's, and I'm open to, you disagreeing or agreeing on any of these things. Does that not sound like Comrade Zohran, which is what I'm going to call him moving forward, Comrade Zohran, who came out of the closet last night? Does that sound as if he's talking about seizing President Trump's properties in New York? Trump Tower, his building over there on Wall Street and all the rest? Sounds like it to me, doesn't it? All right, let's take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Brian. This is Danielle calling from Michigan.
Hey, what's up, Danielle?
Hey, there's a lot that can be said. I just want to make a couple comments. You've had great callers. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. This, like you said, this is a motivation. This is going to motivate us. Listening to the speech, listening to what you played is absolutely terrifying.
Not only is it terrifying, it's terrifying. It's also was the most racist speech I think anyone's given since the Democrats of the days of segregation.
I totally agree. And let me tell you something real quick here. Just like one of your callers said, hey, they're going to get what they voted for. And maybe they have to fall. But I'm going to say something that he made a comment about Trump when he said, you better, what did he say? You better turn up the volume. Well, I got news for him. Trump is about 25 steps ahead of him. And he's known that this was going to happen, and the volume is totally turned up. And I have all the confidence in President Trump and the next moves and what will happen. I'm not going to fear anything.
No, I'm not. Let me tell you, people on the left are going to be shocked at this. MAGA, we're not angry today. We're not angry. We're not sad. We're not even upset. This is a gift in so many ways because the longer he has that position. See, this is one thing Steve Kane told me about this many, many years ago about liberals, and it's so true. I didn't realize it until he told me this. Liberals got a lot of problems, but their biggest problem are boundaries, right? That's why you can't make you can't make they always push. They're never satisfied. He came out of the closet last night as not just a racist and a communist, and there's a new word that I've created, an Ameriphobe. Because in his speech, he's out there for everyone other than Americans, in particular white Americans. But if you listen to his speech, he's an Ameriphobe. So, he's going to be more emboldened by that as time goes on.
Let me just say this. The exposure and what this person is all about is going to be coming to the forefront, and all Americans are going to see. They're going to get a look at what this guy is really all about. And those young people, those people that want all the freebies and that voted for him, I'm going to tell you, they're going to have a lot of regret.
There are not going to be any freebies. There aren't going to be any freebies. It's all it's not going to happen. That's all stuff to get in office.
You're right.
This was. Let me tell you, and I maybe I'm reading this wrong. I'll ask you, caller, if you can tell me. I think we just saw the real Zohran. What we've seen before was a totally fake, nice guy personality. He is an angry, racist American hater, and he came out full steam with that last night.
I totally 100% agree. What is this, a new age? We're going to have a new age. This is alarming. This is an eye-opener. I want to ask you real quick, do you by chance know who won the mayoral race in Minneapolis?
You know what?
You
should. I should know that. And I did. I was so engrossed into everything Comrade Zohran when I was doing my show prep. I will look during the break. I did not. Or if somebody knows, you can let me know, and that you can give me the research. I didn't even bother to look. But you know, all of the thing about these races last night, the Democrats didn't have victories. They won. They won in Democrat districts around Democrat cities and states around the country. They acted as if they defeated Trump or MAGA. These are blue cities and states. And President Trump didn't even campaign for any of the Republicans running in these offices.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Brian, this is a beauty. This is all good.
This is a gift.
Say something too. This is a beauty, and let me tell you, I wonder what Stefanik is going to do next year, perhaps to run against to come in and run against.
In the latest polls, she's pulling ahead, Elise Stefanik.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, all the listeners, everybody out there, do not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. Do not be upset. Just like you said, this is a gift, and it's going to play out the way it's going to play out. But we're going to be okay in the end.
Indeed. All right. Yep. Thank you for your call.
Great show.
Thank you. Thank you. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about the Sloman's Home Security System. They're offering something new. Listen to this. Sloman's Home Security is offering a free home security system with free professional installation with 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. All you have to do is give them a call. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. This is a limited time offer. A free security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's Home Security System includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, a remote keypad, so you can check anytime from anywhere. This is absolutely amazing. Now, you can call them no matter where you're located, by the way, in the United States. Give them a call to get your free home security system and professional installation. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. Call us on hold. You stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. New Yorkers, stay in New York. Look what you did. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Don't come to Florida. Our number is 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Whoo-wee. All right, we are back. We're in a radio station break. I'll take some calls here during the break. If you want to call in, it's 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey.
Hey, man. How you?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey, look, I just wanted to say this, and I'm going to let you go, because I know you got a lot of calls this morning. The reason, like, basically what happened last night in the elections, I think Trump needs to start looking at it and say, what they're doing is not working.
What do you mean in New York City? You're talking about.
No, I'm talking about general. I'm talking about general.
You're talking about.
Excuse you.
Excuse me and excuse you. I'm speaking. We're talking about one of the most Democrat cities in America. A Democrat won.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
No, you're talking. Go ahead.
I'm done talking to you. You can comment or I'll move on.
Okay. Well, you knew Mamdani gonna win. You kept on the radio, oh, he gonna lose. No, he wasn't. And they say that it's like
I never said that. In fact, I said the polls closed, and I said I'm not predicting that Mamdani's going to lose or anyone's going to win. I said this race is too close to call with all the data we have. I never said he was going to lose. I never said that.
Oh, I know you're busy. I'm gonna let you with one thing. Everybody say a prayer for those people that in the airline crash yesterday, because that was just crazy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah.
That was crazy. Did you understand what I just told you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. Take care. You're not saying much. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Nick out of Baltimore.
Hey.
Yeah. So, I'll piggyback on a couple of callers ago.
I'm trying to get the final. I'm trying to get the final results on that Omar guy in Minneapolis, and my last count has him like 10 points behind. Omar Fattah.
I haven't seen anything on him, but this again, the Democrats always go too far. Now, this New York, well, it's really awful what's going to happen in New York.
New York deserves it.
They made their bed, and now they got to lie in it.
Correct.
And you are 100% right. Curtis Sliwa should have gotten the heck out. He screwed this up. Now, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, the latest count that he got, he didn't get enough of the vote that would have changed it. Zohran still would have won. But if he would have gotten out there and endorsed, and then they had this triumvirate with Mayor Adams and Curtis Sliwa, you may have. But this is great, Nick. I mean, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back from the radio break, so stand by. I'll continue with you.
Okay.
Stand by. I almost forgot we were in a break on the radio. Hold on.
Okay, you let me know when I can.
Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. We are talking about Comrade Zohran and what this means. I was looking during the break. It looks like this Somali weirdo Omar in Minneapolis is lost. The most recent count I have shows him 10 points behind. So, but the guy that's won is that weirdo that did his hair before he did the press conference at the church shoot. Anyway, we're talking about Comrade Zohran. I got Nick from Baltimore on the line. Nick, I read this as a good thing for the country, that Comrade Zohran, because the speech he gave last night was so angry and ugly. He's red-pilling people, and he'll be red-pilling at people every day.
It was very divisive.
Oh.
It was the most divisive speech I've ever heard. And I'm looking at this, and I was upset. I really, and I still kind of am, but I said to myself, you know what? This is actually going to work out, because at least Stefanik is going to benefit from all of this.
Hell yeah.
When you go to all these totally the extreme, it's going to pull back. We're going to do very well in the midterms. And when you get off the air today at 9 o'clock, Trump is pulling the GOP in for breakfast.
Yeah.
And they're going to pull the nuclear option.
Yeah, they are. And they're going to, and you make a good, hey, Nick, I'm going to run, but I appreciate the call. You made a lot of great points.
Okay.
All right, take care. Yeah, Elise Stefanik, who's running for governor, her most recent polls have shown her even pulling ahead of Hochul. This will help get us a Republican governor in New York. Now, I'd been telling you guys about how this would be just devastating for Western civilization and our country's future, right? The American civilization. Well, this spoiled soy boy, mama's boy, who finally is his own man. He doesn't have to go to mommy and daddy for the allowance anymore. He's the mayor. He can't control himself. And what he did last night, and he's not going to be, he dropped his cover. And we saw the real Mamdani last night. He's an angry, racist bigot. He hates white people, he hates Americans, and he's out of control. And because of that, he's exposed himself and broke his cover. And this nice guy act is out the window. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah. No surprise, President Obama and AOC called to congratulate the new Ayatollah of the new poison Big Apple.
Yeah.
And the thing I wonder about is AOC won in her election the first time she ran by 2/3. It's a third of it. Her other people she was running against combined, and they've kept reelecting her, even though look at what she's done. Amazon could have brought a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and
she blew it.
It's New York.
And so
it's New York. What can you do?
And I wonder, so these people get hit in the face with this, and they think, "Oh, bravo, how wonderful, utopia."
Well, no, there's a difference with this. You know, AOC, who's going to try to get on his train to the Senate, you know, she is just a member of the House. All they do is vote yay and nay and go on TV and say a bunch of crap. This guy's the actual chief executive of New York City, or he will be come January. So he's actually got to do things. And not only is there going to be an exodus from New York, there's going to be a lot of people that work in the government that are going to retire. You know, Florida is offering police officers, when you come from these cities, Chicago and New York, not only are they trying to hire you away to a Florida police department, you get to bring your pension along with you. And at least some, yeah. And in some instances, I believe this your rank and seniority as well in some instances. So, you know, the people that run the mechanisms that keep the city going are going to leave. You understand what I mean? The people that know how, to use in commie terms, the people that know how to run the machines are going to leave. And when they're gone, what's going to happen?
Well, yeah, and a lot of the money's going to be pulled out too. But you hope that they keep the police there. There are a lot of police in New York and other blue cities that were basically Ustazi. I mean, they are left, and they you know, it's not just their pension. They are party line followers. And we've got them here in Kansas City.
And, you know, I'll tell you another thing. They're talking about the home values. I don't know, but we're going to see what's going to end up happening when people leave New York and they sell their homes, if they're allowed to, because he's talking about seizing homes. I mean, you know, there's going to be a mass Muslim move to New York City from around the world.
Oh, yeah, I already figured that. It's going to be like Londonistan.
I may never go to New York City again. I don't know if I'll ever go to New York City again in my life.
Truth, I've only seen New York City with my own two eyes from the Jersey Shore. I never went over there.
That's close enough.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be close enough, and for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Chicago. I was only at O'Hare Airport, and that's as close as I want to get.
That's all you need. Watch TV. Watch Chicago PD.
Right. Okay,
Watch
good
Chicago.
morning.
All right, you take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is McEnany last night talking about Comrade Zohan's victory. Is New York City 10% of the American economy? I can believe it. You got the major corporations are based out of there, Wall Street. Absolutely. But how much of it really is based there with everybody doing remote work and stuff now? I don't know. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. This may be the most important question I ask you today. Are you in pain? Why? Go see Dr. Philip Appleton and take advantage of his no-charge free consultation and let the great Dr. Appleton tell you what his robotic laser away pain treatment can do for you. You know, Dr. Appleton, when I went to him the 7 times that I've been suffering from pain, let me tell you, the pains I suffered from were god-awful. In particular, the shoulder. The first time I went in for a shoulder injury, took a fall, went in for a shoulder injury. Every time he rid me of pain, I was in pain, but this one was the worst. I was on the air that day, and I went right from the radio station to Dr. Appleton's office. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are not necessary. And I was on the air that day describing the pain. And the way I described it, it felt as if on the side of my shoulder, I was punched by Mike Tyson when he was the champ at 21. And in the front of my shoulder, it felt like someone had a steak knife inside my shoulder, cutting the muscle. It was in a pain so bad that I felt like I was going to pass out. I was in tears. I was in so much pain. I went to see Dr. Appleton. I went in and I told him, I said, Doc, I'm going to need all your miracle working today, but I think I'm going to need surgery. Whatever I've done is just, it's so painful. He examined me. I was in so much pain, I almost fell to the floor because when he examined me, he had to determine where the pain was coming from. He was able to find the spot on my shoulder where the pain was coming from, the exact spot. And that's where he focused in on with the robotic laser. But the robotic laser moves around, so it treated that spot, but also all the area around it, the top of my shoulder, the side of my shoulder, the back where my shoulder blade is, all the way around. And when I left his office, as I was walking out, I was already seeing relief. And I said, Doc, I'm already feeling better. He said, yeah. And I said, if I'd have gone to the orthopedics, they would have had the surgery scheduled by the end of the week. And I went back for the second treatment, and then boom, the pain gone, and it has not returned. That's my experience 7 times. And next time I take a fall or hurt myself or some arthritis develops somewhere else, I'll be right back in there. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Remember, the consultation's free. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. The laser treatment is completely painless. You don't even feel it when it happens. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself. That's right. There's no shots, no injections, and no downtime. Here's the number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. It's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
Blinded by your ridiculous, insane hatred of chemicals that you cannot see how irresponsible and hypocritical you are being. I mean, these tweets from Teresa and Irene are a great example. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, they don't kill you because you're Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can
All right. Okay, for your on hold standby, let me see. By the way, Black 40 Metalworks, good conservative people. Their link is in the description of the episode. Okay. Okay, we got 2 minutes till we're back on the radio, so I'll take a call while we're in break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Louise from Delaware.
Hey, what's up, Delaware?
Oh, well, I want to tell you I appreciate your optimism, first of all, and I agree with you. But I did, after the votes came in last night, I was looking for you on YouTube, couldn't find you, so I was listening to another MAGA person, and at the time he was saying that only 30% of the New Yorkers came out to vote. And I think that's disgusting.
What percentage?
Can you believe
what
it?
percentage?
30%, 30.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That they didn't care enough to come out to vote?
I guess not. I don't know. But this is a good thing. You know, no matter what happened, we were going to get. I mean, you know, Cuomo killed a lot of people, and he's a rabid liberal lunatic. You know, so there was no MAGA person running. President Trump wasn't involved in any of these races. You know, so we were going to get a Democrat. You know, and Mamdani showing his true ugliness. That's great.
Well, I just was shocked at that low percentage rate.
Wow.
And one last thing, I heard that JD's brother lost his election
in Cincinnati. He did, yeah, he did. All right, listen, we're coming back. We're coming back. I got to run. All right, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. See, listen. Zohran, I'm very excited about this victory of Comrade Zohran here because he showed what he's really like. He is an ugly, angry person. A lot of it is because he's a racist, okay? He doesn't like white people, and he hates Americans, but he's got mommy and daddy issues. You know, he's been living off of mommy and daddy his whole life, like Bernie Sanders did before he became mayor of that little town in Vermont. And for the first time in his life, he's the boss. He doesn't have to go to mommy and daddy. At least that's what he thinks. So he's got a lot of anger inside. He really needs therapy. But he's not going to go to therapy. His therapy is going to be, I'm the big man and I'm going to do it. And it's going to be a disaster. Listen, we were going to get a Democrat no matter what. It was either him or the man that killed thousands, Governor Cuomo. And looking at the, we couldn't predict the ugly, racist, communist speech last night. Who would have thought he would have come out of the closet like that? It was nuts, right? Looking back, between him and Cuomo, I think Trump, MAGA, and our country are better off with this lunatic, Comrade Zohran. And the reason I think so is this. He's going to continue to be the way he was. He'll have some moments where he smiles again and all that crap. But he is scaring people. He is scaring people. And when he takes that oath in January on the Quran, and we come around for the 25th anniversary of the Islamic attack on America on 9/11, and he's there, you know, and City Hall is going to be filled with people from CARE and others wearing funny clothes and saying in ways we don't understand and everything else. People are going to be scared for good reason. And that's going to red pill people. We got a good Republican, Stefanik, running for governor there. We got the midterms coming up. If Cuomo would have become, now again, we didn't know he was going to come out of the closet like this. I thought, and I think most did, I bet you mommy and daddy, they'd said, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know, when he got to, you know, I thought this fake smile act was going to continue. See, if Governor Cuomo was the mayor, Governor Cuomo's a monster, right? We know this. But what Cuomo was planning was this was going to be his comeback. See, a lot of people, it surprises me how many people in New York don't remember his dad, Mario Cuomo. Mario Cuomo, okay, when Ronald Reagan was president, he was the big foil the Democrats had. And the high point was he gave the speech at the Democrat National Convention. We don't need another missile. We need welfare and all this crap. Remember all that? And Mario Cuomo was obsessed with becoming president. He wanted that nomination to be president so bad he could never get it. And Andrew Cuomo was going to live Daddy's dream. And he was going to, becoming mayor of New York was going to be his comeback. And in the next presidential election, he probably would have been the Democrat nominee. And a lot of Democrats would have gravitated to that lunatic. And in the very least, he would have used that to replace Schumer in the Senate. So that you know. But Comrade Zohran here, he's, you know, while Cuomo would have been attracting people back to the Democrat Party, Comrade Zohran is a repellent. Not only are people not going to go back to the Democrat Party, they're going to flee the Democrat Party because they're scared now, because he's a monster. All right, our number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. Chris from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Chris.
Just wanted to take it off speaker. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I agree with you when you say that, you know, it really is going to help more than hurt. I mean, yeah, it's going to do some damage, but in the big picture, you know, because they've been trying to do things like turn America into New York or Chicago as it is. And so they're going to see again, it doesn't work. We don't need this socialism. You know, we were discussing it yesterday. You know, here you go. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. You know, just shooting off the mouth because obviously the majority of the people aren't rich. The majority of the people want freebies, handouts.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take free bus rides. I'll take the money. Give me. You know, remember that whole thing with Obama? Obama money. Give me.
None of that's going to happen.
No.
See, New York, the monies that he's talking about come from the state, not from the city, even though they have a city income tax. Okay?
Right.
And I'm telling you, this exodus from New York is going to come from the people that are running the city. What I mean is the senior people that are running the garbage pickup, the senior people at the police department, the senior people at the electrical company, all this stuff, right? When these people leave, the common man sitting around on their Twitch stream playing video games waiting for their free crap aren't going to know how to run things. It's going to turn the city into a slum.
Exactly. And all these, again, he's just, I shouldn't say just the mayor of New York City, but you're right. A lot of this has to come from the governor, and much of it has to come from federal government.
The best thing we can do with Comrade Zohran is leave him alone and let him do what it is he does. He'll self-destruct.
Absolutely.
He'll self-destruct.
Just a young guy, just like your AOC as well. As soon as she stepped in office, she acted like she wanted to be president and run the she's not representing her district
at all. Yeah, but she doesn't run anything.
Like,
a member
exactly.
hold on, let me answer these phones. A member of Congress doesn't do anything. They vote yay and nay and present. When you're the mayor, you're in charge of things. You're a manager. You got to get things done. And if the leaders of the waterworks leave, what are you going to do? Bring some guy in from Dubai? That'll go over well. Does he know all the intricacies of the water department down there in New York City? I doubt it. You know, they could have power blackouts and water outages and garbage pickup. Crime's going to explode. The city could very well collapse.
Well, absolutely. And like you said, it's going to be hilarious. And so he's making all these empty promises, of course, but other motives, obviously. Like you said, is it about just a mayor? I mean, obviously they have other agendas to turn New York City into what it is. And, you know, I really am all for not having these people in leadership positions. When I say these people who are foreign born, you know, so far you can't be president, but you can be whatever, a professor at the university. You can be a mayor. You can even be senator or governor, I guess, being born somewhere. I don't think we should do that, and I think we should also have term limits in the Senate so we don't get Schumers for 30 years. But, yeah, we've got to, before this country falls. I mean, I don't know what these liberals are thinking about. Well, I know they're thinking about freebies, whatever. But
it all sounds great, doesn't it? Free stuff, but they don't have. You know, if he were the president, God forbid, there's ways to cover it because they make money. They actually make it. They have machines that make it, right? The city of New York does not have that. A city, especially the size of New York, or the things he's talking about, are almost like welfare recipients of the state and federal government. And without the state and federal government, they got really no money. And
they're going to find out quickly, those that voted for him, that it was all smoke and mirrors. But yes, and now you're right, because when I fly home to White Plains, sometimes I go into the city and I do some things. I'm going to avoid that. I'm just going to go straight into White Plains, not go into the city. And
don't go to New York. Don't go to, especially if you're white. Don't go to New York. It's not safe. All right. Hey, appreciate the call, Chris. Take care, man. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about George Colony, our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show. You know, George Colony, when you listen to his recorded commercial, he asks a very good question. He says, people ask him all the time, when's the right time to buy or sell real estate? And his response is a beautiful response. He says, the answer is simple. It's always a good time if you've got the right advice. And that's what you're going to get for George Colony. He has over 6 decades of experience, that's right, in the real estate industry. He's been involved in real estate transactions, both buying and selling over $5 billion worth of them. And he's founded an 8-figure business. He understands real estate. He's been involved in major transactions, and he understands money. The biggest financial decision most people will make, that's a multi-generational financial decision, is the purchase of the home or the selling of a home. And you don't want to take advice from a real estate agent that, took some course online. Now all of a sudden they're giving you this financial advice. You want to talk to George Colony. He's a businessman who understands everything about it. By the way, he handles every type of real estate transaction, buying, selling, residential, commercial, businesses, whatever it is, tenant representation, he does it all. And we met George Colony through Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Give George Colony a call or text. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-801-7320. 954-801-7320. That's 954-801-7320. We'll be right back. All right, I'll take some calls during the radio break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Brian? Yeah, it's you. What's up?
Hey, Mark from Jupiter. Hey, sorry, Mark from Jupiter. My fault.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen, you better get George on the line, the guy you were just advertising for. What a great time to buy real estate in South Florida.
You don't think it's you don't think he didn't think it was a coincidence we had this great real estate businessman come on right as this was happening, do you? You think that's a coincidence?
For that. No way. This is going to be an amazing time. As long as, like we know, right, you don't bring the politics with you. But let me tell you something. Here goes the next real estate boom. We thought COVID was wild. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
They're coming.
Oh, yeah. This is an amazing thing, because I started at the beginning of the show. See, none of us could have predicted this ugly commie speech he gave, right? The nice guy act is gone. And MAGA people, none of us are worried. We're all happy, and we're not angry or upset. And Democrats, they don't understand this. I don't think they can understand why we know that he is going to he's a political commercial for our midterms. He's going to take us to victory, Comrade Zohran.
That's it's Reagan-esque, right? I mean, we had Jimmy Carter, and we were just rotting on the vine. High gas prices. I remember being in my mother's Volkswagen, those vinyl seats where I could smoke the Darringtons, and waiting in line for gas. And
yes,
what did that bring? It brought Reagan. So
that's right.
You know what, New York? A new day is coming. Just hang in there.
And you know what? The last Muslim socialist we had, Barack Obama, resulted in Trump coming down the escalator.
Exactly. I was going to say that too. This is very reminiscent of that, although not on such a grand scale. I mean, he's a very light version, if any, of Barack Obama, but I'll tell you what, good times are coming.
That's right. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, take care. If you're watching on the live stream with the green wall behind me, to see and hear all the video and audio that I play, you've got to go to my main stream on YouTube, and the link to that is in the description of the video. All right? Let me play this. This is a clip of Scott Jennings on CNN last night talking about the victory of Comrade Zohran. Yep. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Newsbusters, by the way, is a great conservative news source. If you guys don't go to news, it's newsbusters.org. Very good conservative news outlet. If you're on hold, stand by. Well, I'm gonna get some. We'll be back in less than a minute. I got to get some coffee going. Be right back. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Joanne from Tamarack.
Hey.
Hi. Listen, I'm wondering, hold on, let me shut this. All of our immigrants.
What do you mean shut this? That's me you're shutting down. Don't you have to, you could
well,
the way you let me shut this down. Let me shut this down.
I'm going to open it when I get off the phone.
That's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm wondering, I'm thinking about all of our great immigrants that came over here through Ellis Island, seeing the Statue of Liberty in the late 1800s. I'm wondering if this guy is going to have shiploads of Muslims coming across the Atlantic Ocean and landing at the New York harbors. Mm-hmm. Where is he going to get all these Muslims to fill up?
They don't. Well, first of all, she said ship with a P, by the way. They don't have to go. They don't need ships. They can just drive there from Dearborn, Michigan.
Well, we're still not going to get more in the country since our great president has shut down the border.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if he's going to be able to bring in people through all those harbors in Manhattan.
There's going to be a mass. There's going to be a mass migration of Muslims to New York City. Yes. Yes. From all over the United States and maybe the world too. Yeah. Sure.
Personally, I have a brother-in-law that lives in Queens, owns his own home, does renovations for very wealthy people in Manhattan, and always poo-pooed me on my political ideas.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what's going to happen to him.
Well, he's going to lose he's going to lose his business because for a number of reasons. If he's working in Manhattan, New York City. When you go through Zohan's victory speech, most of it was about the seizure of public property. I mean, of private property and making it public property, which is communism 101. Yeah. So these private homeowners aren't going to have homes anymore. He's going to take them.
Yeah, well, that's where he's going to build all these, or what he claims. They take people's private homes and then they build tenements there.
That's correct. Yeah, he wants to make, just like in the Soviet Union and Cuba. And that worked out really well for Russia, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm in Florida. But it's a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
These people that went and voted like that, they deserve what they get.
Hell yeah.
But it's terrible that it's happening in our wonderful country.
It sure is. It sure is.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn you back on.
Yeah, sure, please.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. If you're on hold, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. Stand by. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, this reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode where they...
hold on, Doug, while I answer. The phones are ringing off the hook, so I'm just answering. Yeah, go ahead. It reminds you of which episode of the Twilight Zone? I've seen them all. Which episode?
The one that they caught the devil and they were holding him with a little stick.
Oh, that's a good one. In the little room.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the little room. Exactly. And he talks to the guy and gets him out. That's what this is. This guy, this is evil. This guy is evil. He conned everybody into voting for him because he's going to give things away. And we'll soon find out.
This is the thing, Doug, okay? And the way I'm going to use this analogy, I've used it already, but I'm going to use it again. We saw Mamdani in his real personality last night, and he is angry.
Yep.
He is a racist.
Yep.
And he hates Americans. I call him an Ameriphobe, And this is not what we have seen of him before. And the analogy I use is, and I'm sure I've not known this with men. It's been pretty much exclusively you hear this from women. A woman is married. Her husband's nasty. He's abusive, maybe physically, maybe verbally, whatever, right? And then when she's talking, she says, when we were dating, he was so romantic. He opened up the door, took me out to dinner, brought roses home every Friday, took me on the hot air balloons. We went down the Cabo. And as soon as we got married, he turned into this. That's Zohran. Okay? He turned on a dime. And we got to see the real Zohran last night. Just boom, instantaneously.
And I think it's only going to get a lot worse.
He's
go out to try to do everything.
And here's what I'm going to, again, this just based on this one speech. Here's what we should do. This is a phrase that Corey Lewandowski used, a take on a phrase to title his book. Let Zohran be Zohran.
Yeah.
Let Zohran be Zohran, and boom, the red pilling of America will begin.
I mean, New Yorkers and Californians are all sick in the head, and no matter what happens, they'll probably be, well, he's trying, they'll give him a break. Yeah. But the rest of the country and everybody's going to be come to Florida now, I think. Everybody's going to get the hell out of New York.
Well, listen, just think about what this communist has done. How much richer are you and I now because we own homes in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
We just ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
And especially if DeSantis gets no taxes, forget it. The price of bills is going to skyrocket. Man, everybody's going to want to be in Florida. But this Zohran, what a disappointment. I'm embarrassed to say that I was a New Yorker. These people are really, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm never going to tell anybody that again. I was from the North.
You're not going to tell Doug. You don't have to tell people; they know.
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell. You can tell you're a New Yorker. Come on.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker.
By the way, did you ever look up that David Lee Roth stuff I told you about, where he's forgotten the lyrics to the songs and the leather pants and all that? Did you ever look that up?
No, I didn't look it up. No.
I told you. Okay. All right. Take care, Doug.
How'd it go, man?
All right. Take care. By the way, if you're in New York, thinking about moving to Florida, call George Colony. I'm serious. George Colony has over 6 decades of experience in real estate and in business. He's been involved in over $5 billion in real estate transactions, both sides, by the way, buying and selling. And this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-801-7320. He handles all types of real estate transactions. He's a good guy, and I was introduced to him by Tom Laporta, 954-801-7320 for George Colony. All right, let's see here. Let's take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I'm going to open it. Good morning again. I'm going to open everyone's eyes here. This is not, I don't believe that he's just standing there by himself with his big mouth. And, we're all directing everything on him. You remember 1992, the World Trade Center was hit, and there was a reason it was hit. It was a financial symbol of the United States of America.
Well, hold on, Richie.
Hit by
Hold on, Richie. My phones are just ringing off the hook. All right, go ahead, Richie. I'm sorry.
A bunch of Muslims that hate America. This is so. And then you had 2001. The World Trade Center was taken down. This was a victory. They were dancing in the streets. They are financed by CARE. He is backed by so much money from. He is. You see, it's not him alone. He's just a figurehead for a movement that's going to try to. They've already infiltrated America by doing what they've done.
Well, he said in the speech last night, the people working at City Hall are going to be a little different there. So we're going to see CARE and others walking through City Hall running the joint.
Exactly right. And the money, he's not going to have a money problem because he's going to be heavily funded from the Middle East. What do you think all these...
What do you mean going to be? What do you mean going to be? Who do you think paid for this campaign?
Funded.
He's been funded the whole time.
Funded.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the city, he will be backed by anti-American Islamists.
I hope that Bernie Sanders and AOC keep wrapping themselves around Comrade Zohran, because it's going to be such a disaster. He's out of control.
Yeah, but he's not just a communist. It's just a Muslim takeover at the beginning of America.
Yes.
People better open up their eyes, man. This is, and I want to hear about I'm an Islamic phobia guy. It's obvious as hell when you see it. When it's a duck and you see it, it's a duck.
All right, Richie, I'm out of time for the hour, but thanks for the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. We're going to take our top of the hour break. Come back with your calls at 888-465-2631. Let Zohran be Zohran. Do you guys like that phrase? I just started that. Let Zohran be Zohran. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back with your calls and more after this. All right, I got to go get my coffee. All right, just got my coffee. All right, let me see when we're coming back. We're on a radio station break now. There's one opening on the board. Let me see what time we're going to be back. Okay, we got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and take a call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
Hey, listen, you're confusing your listeners. Yesterday and the day before, you were saying how this is going to be the downfall.
See, I already discussed this.
Wait.
No, you wait.
Of Western civilization.
I already addressed this. No, what I said was we couldn't predict that he was going to come out of the closet like he did with this evil speech last night. In his victory speech, he dropped the nice guy act and showed his inner ugliness. And if he would have continued that nice guy act, you know, when I give analysis, it's based on the information we have now. I don't know if you know this, and maybe you don't understand the format of the show. You know this isn't a psychic show, right? Where we foresee the future. We talk about the news as it develops.
You know why I know?
Oh my goodness. What a jackass. Oh my goodness. Describe Greg 2 in one word in the live chat. Hold on. I'm glad I took him during the commercial break. Can't you see the future, Brian? You know, if he would have kept his nice guy act, we'd have been in big trouble. But coming out here with that was perfection. All right, we've got 1 minute until we're back from the radio, so I'm not going to take any calls until we get back from the break. Hold on, guys. I got to get my commercial copy together. Okay. Hold on a second. They gave me some new commercial copy I got to read over. Okay. All right, 10 seconds. Can't you see the future? No, I can't. I'm an idiot. All right, hour number 2, well, it's really 3 because of the pre-show, has begun. My name is Brian Craig, and this is the Steve Kane Show. We're celebrating Comrade Zohran. You know, before we go to the phones, just let me recap. In the pre-show today, you know, I do a pre-show 30 minutes to an hour before the radio show begins on YouTube every morning. And I played the entire 22 minutes of Zohran's victory speech. It was not the same Zohran we've seen on TV with a smile. It was the most angry, vile victory speech ever given by somebody who just won an election in this country that I've seen. And I don't think I'm alone in that. And he blew his cover. He is an incredible actor who he came out of character. You know, what is that thing they say, like they did in The Office? The third wall, or whatever they call it. We got to see what he's really like, right? We got to see what he's really like. He is the most unlikable, evil, racist, bigoted, anti-American Democrat I've ever seen. Or at least he's the most open about it, whichever. And he did so much damage to himself last night, but he's too arrogant to understand it. Plus, he's obvious. One of the things I took from that, not just he hates Americans and white people. He's not just a racist. I created a new word. It's called Ameriphobe. He's an Ameriphobe. But he's also got daddy and mommy issues. He's a mama's boy and a daddy's boy. And he's been living off of mommy and daddy his whole life. Right? Eat your peas, cut up chew your food. And now, Bernie Sanders went through this. Bernie Sanders was a bum who lived off mommy and daddy till he got elected mayor of that town, right? Well, that's what's happened to Zohran. For the first time, I'm my own man. I'm the mayor now. And I'm going to show you who daddy and mommy really is. It's me. Yeah, right. A mama's boy like that's his wife's the mommy number 2. So, he's a man on his own for the first time. Plus, he's a bigot. And he just can't control himself. And he seems to act as if he's never going to have to run again. And the people he surrounds himself, oh boy, but everything he said last night, most of it was about seizing power and seizing private property was what most of the speech was about. He suggested he was going to seize President Trump's personal property, which would include Trump Tower and whatever other properties he has in New York City. It was pretty hardcore speech last night. I'm not exaggerating. And that's why I was saying in the last hour, I'm taking this from the great Corey Lewandowski, when he said, let Trump be Trump, let Zohran be Zohran. This guy is so self-destructive that just let him do what he's going to do. Let him bring in those care people into City Hall and make them as vice mayors and run all these departments. Let them go ahead and do that. Absolutely. All right. There's one opening on the board at 888-465-2631. Let's go. Line number 1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, Brian? I am Alicia from New York City.
Oh, man. How's it feel?
What I wanted to bring up was the fact that Zohran Mamdani is the leader of this free city, and at this point, communism is going to flourish throughout the country.
Oh, and that's a good thing?
Well, absolutely. You think it's not?
Come on. Let me ask you this before I have this conversation. Okay?
Absolutely.
Are you trolling me? Are you just pretending to be a communist to have fun?
Why would I be trolling? This is the greatest ideology
really?
ever.
Oh, so you're a loser with no money or house or anything, right?
What are you
You're
talking
a bum.
about?
What's your financial situation? What's your financial situation? Do you own your house?
Of course not. That's illegal.
Then you're just pulling my leg. I don't have time for games. Okay, I don't mind talking. I don't have time for fakers. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? If he were real, I'd talk to him.
Brian.
Yeah, if that guy was real about that, I would talk to him. But I'm not going to sit here and waste time with some guy who's playing games. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Well, New York, they really surprised me. Massive voter fraud. Yesterday.
I don't know why you say that. The Democrat Party machine. No, I don't agree with that. The Democrat Party, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm going to tell you why, Barbara.
They don't have voter ID.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, and then I'll let you go into your thing. The reason I don't think so is because the Democrat Party machine is the one who does all of that, and the Democrat Party machine is Cuomo. So no, this was real. The people of New York are stupid idiots, and they elected a racist, anti-American communist, and it was done legitimately and by their choice. So no, nope. If what you said was in play, Cuomo would be mayor.
Listen. That is a great analogy. Absolutely. The people in New York are stupid, apparently.
Yep.
That goes without saying. But they have no voter ID. I live in Maryland, and we have 12 million illegals here.
Yeah.
So if there was any mail-in ballots that were accepted and counted, there should be and I'm going to leave that with that. But the people of New York being stupid goes beyond saying.
Oh, yes.
These people were actually cheering the things that he was saying after this. I saw some bites of what he said after winning. I mean, this anarchist, this anti-American, the hate and violent machine was really working too. And bomb threats, when you're talking about shutting down 4 counties in New Jersey, only in the red area with bomb threats.
Yeah, come on, give me a break.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on, and of course.
Well, do you agree though? Do you agree that this is?
He was a poor candidate.
Oh no, he's a great candidate.
This
is a great candidate.
He ran away from President Trump.
Oh,
President Trump had a rally in Madison Square Garden in New York. Madison Square Garden was sold out in New York City for a rally for President Trump. Curtis Sliwa ran away from President Trump.
Oh, Curtis Lee was a jerk. Curtis Lee was a jerk. I saw Curtis Sliwa's concession speech. He was so excited that Zohran won because now he's got something to gripe about and try to be relevant. He's a traitor to New York. He's Benedict Arnold.
He ran away from America First policies, principles, and that he ran on BS. His message was horrible, and it was. But
Zohran won. Zohran won over 50% of the vote as at the last count.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
and Curtis Sliwa just got over 7%. So Curtis Sliwa it wasn't enough to make the difference. Zohran still would have won.
New York City municipal employees is one of the largest employers of people that have pensions in this country, because that's a city of 8 million people with mass transit and so many city positions and people who are retirees, like my relatives who worked for the city. My father was a bus driver. They have, I'll guarantee you, when he starts running out of money, he's going to have to reduce the pensions of the people who live there, because nobody else is going to pay it.
You assume he would know how to do such a thing. You assume he would know how to do something like that.
I know what's going to happen in New York.
Financial collapse.
The only money they will have access to is going to be pensions.
Well, there's going to be a crime. First, there's going to be a crime wave.
New York City.
There's going to be a crime wave. And then all of a sudden, the trash is going to start building up on the streets. There's going to be a slow, you go around, you go around the world where the communists are. It's all third world. There's going to be a transformation of New York City into a third world city, and I think it'll happen faster than you think.
President Trump has already said it. And what's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast, because President Trump is pulling all money that is not absolutely necessary, but for New York City, that pension that they pay. I have relatives who get pensions of 15 G's a month.
Wow. For what? What did they do for a living? What did they do?
Pensions.
Well, what was their job when they worked?
All administrative. I'm talking about, they did everything. The city has bus drivers. Think about the man.
Bus driver gets 15 grand a month pension? Holy smokes.
Clerical, the administration.
Wow.
Yeah, you're talking about the school system. Yes, the city employees are the biggest. I would love to be managing their.
Well, there's going to be a mass retirement of city workers. It's going to be the senior city workers that know how to operate everything. There's going to be a collapse in New York. Hey, listen, I got to run. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. November, it's all about men's health. That's right. And Life Imaging FLA is here to help you. Listen to this. Life Imaging FLA offers free heart scans with a few minimum requirements, valued at $699. That's the scan I had. I had the heart scan. Oh, man, such a great thing I had. While you're there, make sure you ask them about the full body cancer screening for the ultimate peace of mind. I had that as well. So, and the peace of mind, I can't tell you how refreshing it is. When I went there, I thought I was going to have blockage and plaque buildup, and maybe some cancer. I don't know, but certainly I thought that I was going to be by the next day or two at the hospital getting stents put in or bypass surgery. I really thought that. And the peace of mind, I called my wife from the parking lot before I even got in my car and said, "Guess what? No plaque, no blockage. Oh yeah, and no cancer either." And it feels great. Life Imaging FLA is all about proactive health care. They're saving lives through early detection, because for people in there 80% of people are like me. You get peace of mind, but that other 20%, they find something. Sometimes it's blockage, sometimes it's plaque, sometimes it's cancerous. Over 4.75 million cancer deaths have been prevented through early detection and screening. This November, take control of your health. Stop by Life Imaging FLA and start living proactively. Okay, they have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. That's pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Pound 250 and say free heart scan. And while it is Men's Health Month, you women, you can go in there too and take advantage of that. Pound 250 and say free heart scan. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. All right, we're on a radio station break right now. Before I go back to the calls, I'll go back to the calls in a moment. I want to remind everyone, go to MyPillow.com, do your Christmas shopping. Oh man, this is a great time to do your Christmas shopping. And just to give you the news, Mike Lindell and MyPillow, you guys have been really supportive of them. They are continuing their sponsorship of the early show, as well as continuing the show during the breaks and everything else I'm doing. So go to MyPillow.com. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and do your Christmas shopping. We'll be right back with your calls. All right, we're back. We're still in break on the radio, but we're live here on YouTube, so I'll take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
Are you crying yet? I know you guys must be horrified.
Why?
Because the Muslim won.
Nope.
Just such an
Nope.
affront to
We're
you.
excited. We're excited, Renee. We're excited.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, we're excited. Didn't you watch?
Are you really?
Didn't you watch Comrade Zohan's victory speech last night? Talked about seizing private property, segregating white people.
Who are you talking about?
Comrade Zohan.
Zohan? Who's that?
The guy that just won the election for mayor.
Zohran, idiot. Say his name right.
Uh-huh.
Brienne.
Uh-huh.
I'll call you Brienne, okay?
I'm sorry we're not upset. Does this come as a shock to you?
Oh, you sound pretty upset to me.
No. Are you kidding me? I've got a new thing we're saying here. Let Zohan be Zohan.
His name is Zohran, stupid.
You know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Then how do you know what his correct name is? If you don't know who I'm talking about, how can you correct the pronunciation of the name? You would have to know who I'm talking about to correct the pronunciation.
Why do you insist on mispronouncing his name?
Oh, so you do know who I'm talking about, so you were lying. It's mocking, it's mockery. Zohan is from that Ben Stiller movie where he was the hairdresser from The Idea. Zohan, it's mocking him.
Lion Brian, the bigot midget. That's who you are.
Yeah. Sounds like you're the one who's upset. Renee's upset. Zohan wanted, Renee's upset, and we're not. Oh, my goodness. Who's more unglued? Renee from Harlem or Greg 2 today? Which one sounded like a bigger idiot? All right, hold on. What time are we coming back? All right, we got about 30 seconds. Stand by. One opening on the board. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're back. One opening on the board at 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Dr. Ron from Delray Beach.
Hey, Doc, what's up?
Since we're talking, we're talking about TV. My special sci-fi was this huge spacecraft lands, and it says, to serve mankind.
Oh, from Twilight Zone. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. And they took tens of thousands of people on board to go to a new world. And then they found out that to serve mankind was a cookbook.
That's correct. Yes, that's right. That's a great one.
Reminds me of all the lying Democrats, especially the new mayor of New York City.
Oh, isn't he awesome?
Lie.
Don't you love this guy? I mean, he's red pilling more people than anyone. Listen, he's going to red pill more people than any of these wannabe replacements to Charlie Kirk are going to do. Right?
Yeah, I lived in New York. I moved to Massachusetts. My parents had a condo. I came down here to help treat them. I closed my practice, and I love Florida. And I'm glad I'm not in New York anymore.
Oh yeah. Do you own your home? Do you own your home in Florida?
Yes.
Oh, Comrade Zohan just made you a lot of money. Your home's worth more money today than it was yesterday, in anticipation of the exodus.
But if I sell it, where am I going to live?
I don't know.
Now would be a good time to see the people that you advertise in real estate buy real estate, because people will be coming down here.
Well,
for great investment.
Listen, we're capitalists here. On the Steve Kane Show. We've got this great new real estate expert, George Colony, who has over 6 decades of experience in real estate. He's been involved in over $5 billion worth of real estate transactions, buying and selling, right? Works with every type of. Do you think it's just a coincidence that we have a top real estate guy coming on this program advertising on the eve of the New York election? Do you think that just happened by accident, the timing of that?
I am so glad it's not.
You know, this. Why? Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Why do you think all the MAGA people are happy today that Comrade Zohran won? And the liberals I've talked to were miserable. Renee from Harlem called me. Greg too.
I can't understand the mental capacity of some people that are only half as smart as everybody else. I have no clue why they listen to the lies.
Yeah. But most of them are losers, and they just figure it's a way for them to live off the government, you know, to get some free crap.
They're probably hoping that free stuff, they're probably hoping free stuff is really free.
See, there is no free stuff. The New York City,
never.
You know, you can promise free stuff if you're the president, right? Like Obama or Clinton, because they have a Treasury Department, and they actually physically make money. When you're the mayor of New York City, you don't have printing presses, and the little bit of money that you generate through the city income tax doesn't even cover the infrastructure of the city. So basically, the city of New York is a welfare recipient of the federal government in the state of New York. So there's no money to pay for. None of these things are going to happen. None of them.
Our great president created money coming from all of the countries that have been ripping us off.
That's right.
So we get free money, but we've earned it.
Yeah, you're not going to get free money in New York City. All right, appreciate the call.
No. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, take care. Take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Dylan. I'm calling from North Dakota.
Hey, what's up, North Dakota?
Not too bad. How's your day going?
Oh, I'm doing great. What's on your mind?
So I was just wondering how you would, I was wondering how you'd handle a call where someone is actually having a discussion with you and not getting into all the peripheral bullshit. That
you can't. First dump of the day. First dump of the day. If you're on hold, stand by. Oh my goodness. The guy calls in, I want to know if you can have an intellectual conversation, and then he drops profanity. Pretty scary. That guy thinks he's an intellect. If you're on hold, stand by. Here is Van Jones with Scott Jennings last night on CNN talking about Comrade Zohran's victory. Oh, hold on. I turned down the volume. Let me see here. All righty. Socialist. And you know, do you know how all of us know that? You might think we're Googling. We're not Googling. That person was referenced by Ronald Reagan in one of his most famous speeches, right? And that's the one where he says they said that the American people will never accept communism, but if you call it socialism, they'll accept every last tenet of it. That's who Ronald Reagan was always talking about, and that's how we all know who that is. So the first person that Comrade Zohran quoted was a communist. They're all laughing. No, not Google. President Reagan talked about Debs all the time. And it doesn't matter if anybody knew who the name was. They know now. Americans, white people. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right. The oppressed are in City Hall, running City Hall. Oh, man. I want to talk about coastal weight loss secret. You know, it is November. It is a holiday time. We got Thanksgiving. We got Hanukkah. We got New Year's. We've got Christmas. We got the Christmas parties. We got the New Year's parties. You want to look great. You know, when I go to events and you see people that you see once a year, every 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you want to look great. You know, I weigh what I weighed when my wife and I got married 29 years ago. I never thought I'd be this weight again. My stomach is flat. I was getting a belly. And I just thought that's part of growing old, going to have that for the rest of my life. It's gone. I didn't realize until I started losing weight how much I was losing and my body was changing. And I realized that when I would look down at the ground, I was getting to the point where I had partially obstructed view. Now, some guys have completely obstruction. No, just it's like a wall. But I was having partially obstructed view, you know, like with the concert tickets. And now, no obstructions, straight down to the ground. Because my stomach is now flat again, thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Give them a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. They can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Call us on hold. You stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. Okay, we're in a break on the radio, but I'm going to take some calls. You guys mind? Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Same caller from before.
Oh, the guy? Yeah, I thought that was you. The guy that said you can't use profanity, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You don't have anything up on your channel that says anything about that, and you don't have a call screener, and you didn't say it.
Well, I do assume that that we have gentlemen, which you're obviously not one.
Oh no, I am a gentleman.
Who uses profanities? Yeah, that's what all the gentlemen do. Maybe we have different definitions. Yeah. All right, what's on your mind? What's on your mind, gentleman caller?
Well, hold on. Back to our point we were having just a second ago. Does our wonderful president not use profanity quite often?
When it's appropriate for humor purposes. He doesn't say, "I'm about to have an intellectual conversation," and then stop dropping it. There's a difference. The context is different. No, you called in with a very snooty attitude. Are you able to have a real discussion with somebody who's you came off with this snooty, smoking jacket wearing guy with a pipe attitude, and then you start dropping profanity. Do you have any substance? Do you have any substance?
It's deeper than yours.
Do you have any substance?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think you could define communism if you tried. I don't think you could stand on your principles if you tried, and I think you would turn your back on anyone close to you for $1. So,
I would turn my back on my family for $1? What makes you think that I'm such a low-quality person? For $1?
Well, the way you speak about your fellow man, the way you speak about your fellow countrymen, the way you speak about
No. What? Give me an example of something I said that thinks I would sell out my own family for money.
Well, again, the nature lies in the intent of the word.
The nature lies in the intent of the words. Just give me the. You've heard me. You came to this conclusion that I would sell out my friends and family for money. What did I say that would make you say that? No intellectual crap out of a book. Here's some real talk, gentleman caller.
Well, I thought just a second ago you said we were having an intellectual conversation.
No. I was mocking you. You're a wannabe intellect. You are an idiot, and you think you're smarter than everybody else. You think you're an intellect, but you're just a stupid person who's full of themselves. Probably lives with his parents.
No doubt about it.
They didn't.
And not every. There are people.
Did you hear what I said at the end? Probably lives with his parents.
But
oh, no denial there. Hey, listen, I'm going to run. Don't call me back. It's one call per show. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's easy to be a commie when you live with mommy and daddy. All right. That's. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why are so many communist losers? Do you know any commies that aren't? Oh, I'm trying to get a hold of Steve. Hold on. Hey, okay. All right, hold on. I'll put. We got less than a minute. Hold on 1 second. Okay, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, you ready to join the party, the celebration?
Yes, I am.
These people. Oh my goodness. All the liberal callers have been pissed off this morning. All right, you got 20 seconds. We got 20 seconds.
Everybody's feeling around. Nobody knows where to go with it.
I know where to go.
Time to settle.
I know where to go. You know where to go. All right, hold on. 10 seconds. All right, welcome back. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining the party a little early today. Hey, Steve.
Quite a night.
Oh, did you love this speech of Comrade Zohan's last night? I loved it.
I have an interesting perspective. I mean, a little bit different than yours.
All right.
But I don't think that this is, I wouldn't take this thing too lightly. I wouldn't take it too seriously, but I wouldn't take it too lightly. And I think it's a time to leave an open mind and to be ready for anything. There are a couple of things that strike me that are questions that need to be answered. I don't have answers, but I've got the questions. First of all, I think we should bear in mind that this movement that we're talking about, the Islamic movement, is a worldwide movement. It's not a local movement. It's not a city movement. It's a worldwide movement. And it's been underway a long time before it's touched us. This is the first time it's touched us directly. And I think it's a mistake to write it off and underestimate the danger of it.
Yeah.
Just like it's probably a mistake to overestimate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of things we can look to around the world that can give us some clues on this.
Uh-huh.
For example, the militant Islamic movement is dedicated not to taking over New York or the U.S. It's dedicated to taking over the world.
Correct. The global intifada.
The global intifada, and we are merely a leg of that, a part of that, okay? So, again, it's a mistake to take it too lightly.
Uh-huh.
I look around the country. Now, I have family that lives in England, and we used to go every year. We'd go to visit London, and we considered ourselves Anglophiles, and we enjoyed the pubs and the English culture. Well, little by little, year by year, the English culture disappeared, and it spread out over the countryside. And now you go to England, it's not like going to England used to be. It's like a different country.
Yes.
You're surrounded by people from Islam, the culture, the country, the restaurants, everything you see is like a little piece of Islam.
It's Saudi Arabia.
Exactly, and if you look at what's happened in France and you look at what's happened in Germany, it's not to be taken lightly because these people are serious and they are expansionists.
Uh-huh.
They believe in taking over areas little by little. They're highly organized. They're very bright, and there's an element in Islam that is not above skullduggery.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not to be taken too lightly.
Yeah.
I would leave. I wouldn't underrate them. As I guess what the bottom line of what I'm saying
okay,
is.
hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold for a second, Steve. I'm gonna answer the 30,000 calls coming in real quick. Hold on, I don't want to lose you. Okay. Everything you say is true. However, we have something that England never had.
What's that?
Donald John Trump. Okay, and maybe if they had Churchill when this Islamic takeover began, things would have changed. We have Donald Trump. And also, by the way, there is a governor's race going on with Stefanik running against Hochul. And even before this, she was ahead in the polls against Hochul by a couple points in the latest polls. It's going to bring her to victory. And this guy, Mamdani, did you watch his entire victory speech last night?
I listened to it. I didn't watch it. I listened to it.
It was, I've seen it twice in its entirety, not in sound bites. The Mamdani that we've seen running is not the guy who gave the speech last night. He came out of the closet. He is angry. He's a racist. He hates Americans.
There's no question of that.
And
that's true.
And he was very specific about taking over the means of production and seizing of private property and everything else. And, England's a lot different than the United States. England really is an overrated country that hasn't won too many wars, and they've only did well in the last century because of us. They've always been a weak country with weaklings, and they've had a tinge of socialism over there for a long, long time. We don't have that here, okay? And this country is very conservative, very MAGA. This is going to bring our party together. And his speech last night was frightening to people. He was referencing, Steve, seizing President Trump's private property in New York City is how I took it in that speech.
I think a lot of the points you make are interesting and are good points. But what I'm saying is, look, if you look at how the militant Islam operates, look at Dearborn, Michigan. They'll go into a state and they'll get a foothold in a certain area, and they just kind of metastasize like cancer.
But they did that because Obama brought in millions of Muslims, and that's how that happened. Donald Trump's not allowing that.
But the millions you're talking about are already here, is what I'm saying. They're not concentrated yet, but they're already here.
Well,
they're in place.
That other Muslim guy that was running for mayor out of Minneapolis, he lost. The funny-looking, ugly guy, he lost.
The problem is not one person. The problem is, New York was a center for the Islamic movement even before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
When all the college demonstrations and everything we saw, everything was centered out of the headquarters for the Islamic movement was in New York, and it's been there for a long time. This is not just something that occurred overnight, and
But
it's
Steve,
something to be watched.
The Muslim takeover of Dearborn, of Michigan, right? Totally different.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll tell you the differences. And if you're on hold, stand by. After the next break, we'll go to the phones. Okay, and if you want to call in, please do. One, I already told you, Barack Obama brought millions of Muslims into the country. That's why President Trump's first actions in the first term was the Muslim ban. Remember that? He was bringing them in like crazy, nonstop, like the southern border, but by plane. Okay,
but they're here.
But hold on, not as many as there were 9 months ago. And the other thing is, Michigan was kind of like almost an abandoned place because the auto industry dried up and was in financial collapse, so they needed any influx of anything. New York City, and people aren't watching Dearborn. It's a fringe place. This is New York City. It's the most important city in the world. I'm hearing estimates that 10% of the economy of the United States is in New York. I can believe that with the stock market and the corporate. I don't know how they measure that, but I can believe that. All eyes are on New York. It's the hub of the world. It's not Dearborn. It's not a fringe place. And it's a city that's doing well, not an abandoned state like Michigan was when all that stuff happened. And all eyes are on it. This guy, his speech last night was not only ugly, racist, and anti-American. He basically said, you white people, you're out. We're in City Hall now. And he went through a list of people that aren't white that are going to be running the government. The New York City is going to collapse. They talk about the mass exodus. There's going to be a mass exodus of city workers, not just police, of city workers who are going to cash out their pensions and take them. They're not going to have people there that know how to run the city because the senior people are going to retire. They got to have their time in. They get the pension, so they're going to retire. Crime is immediately going to. go up.
What you're saying is interesting and possible, but it's just an element of I mean, that's not the problem. It's not like they're going to take over New York in a day. What I'm saying is, given the foothold and given their potential for what they're great at is organizing.
Yes.
Look, did you follow what went on in Texas for a while, right outside Dallas?
That mosque?
That
Muslim city they were building?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, they're still in the process of doing it.
Don't mess with Texas.
I mean,
it's not going to happen. Let me tell you, in Texas, they don't mess around in Texas. They're not going to let that. They're not going to let that happen. But I will tell you this.
Well, I agree. It has slowed down a little bit, but I don't think this is going to help our cause any.
Well, I will tell you this. If you are listening up in New York and you're thinking about moving to Florida, you want to call George Colony, who's our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show. He was introduced to us by Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing. And
I've heard wonderful things about him.
Well, George Colony's been in town. When I first met him, I said, I know your name. I've been seeing it all over town. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. I've been seeing your name all over town my whole life. And I have, because he's been on bus benches, signs and stuff. I've seen his name for years. But
he's got a great reputation. Great reputation.
Absolutely. And he comes highly recommended from Tom Laporta. And another thing is this. When it comes to buying or selling of your home, and by the way, George Colony does every type of real estate, not just residential, and condos and such, but commercial. He even, Steve, if you have a business you're looking to sell, he does all that. So he's a businessman, not just a real estate agent, right? He's been involved in $5 billion, that's with a B, $5 billion in real estate transactions, both buying and selling on both ends of it. He's founded an 8-figure business, and he has over 6 decades of experience. The largest financial decision most people will make will be the buying or selling of their home. And when you leave that to your real estate agent, well, who's been your real estate agents in your life? Some guy who took a course over the weekends and was working at
Exactly.
as a bartender on the weekend, and all of a sudden you're making a financial decision that's multi-generational because maybe you're going to leave your house to your kids, or maybe your house is your retirement. With George Colony, you're not just dealing with a real estate agent with over 6 decades of experience who's been involved in over $5 billion in real estate transactions, buying and selling. You're dealing with a businessman who understands business, he understands real estate, and he understands money. And it's a whole nother deal with that. And that's why on the recorded commercial you hear with George Colony, he says, people ask all the time, when's the right time to buy and sell real estate? And George Colony, his answer is so fantastic, Steve. He says, it's always the right time to buy and sell if you have the right advice from the right person.
Exactly right.
So listen, give him a call, and like Tom Laporta, this number rings directly to George Colony's cell phone. So you can call or text 954-801-7320. 954-801-7320. Again, this is directly to his cell phone. Call or text 954.
He always picks up on the first ring.
That's right. 954-801-7320. We'll be right back. All right. So if you guys are on hold, stand by. I'm going to put you on hold for a minute, Steve. All right, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Hold on. Okay. We'll be back shortly, guys. All right, Steve, we have 1 minute.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane's here. I'm Brian. You want to take some calls, Steve?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Hey, Steve's not with us right now.
No,
but,
he is. Steve's here. Steve's here.
I would tell him good morning as well.
Steve's here.
Sorry?
Steve is here.
Oh, okay. Hey, Steve, good morning. Hey, I wanted to mention something here about Commie Mamdani. Don't forget about the DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America. He's the star of that organization.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're worldwide.
Yeah.
As you know. And he's also the star of the Islamic movement. Like you said, Steve, they're moving in. They have one agenda. It's to make Islam the one religion of the world. And they'll do it in any way that they can in order to, if they even have to kill.
Well, what they've done, no, it's different. See, what they realized was, hijacking planes and stuff wasn't getting them anywhere. So now they just move into a neighborhood, run for local government, and that's how they take over now. That's the new thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what they said in Germany.
Yes.
Yep, exactly. And in London, it's been completely taken over. But like you said, Brian, we do have one thing that these other countries don't. That's Donald Trump.
That's right.
And so we'll just let him burn himself. Like you say, let Zohran be Zohran.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
I agree with Barbara. I agree with Barbara on one thing. That election, they had no voter ID. The ballot.
This was a legit one. This was totally legit. If it was not,
I can agree to disagree.
If it was not, Cuomo would be the mayor. All right, hold on. I want to take some of these other calls. Cuomo would be the mayor. That the machine would have helped Cuomo, not Mamdani. Okay, you guys got to understand that. And you got to get off this thing that every time you don't get your way in an election, no, this is exactly what the New Yorkers wanted. This idiot commie. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, Brian? I'm Kevin from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kevin.
So, my question would be, have you ever considered the possibility that this guy Mamdani and, like we're seeing in Dearborn, Michigan, those are just the popular examples, but all around the country, could it possibly be some sort of like globalist plot to install like communist leadership in our country?
Of course.
There's no question of it.
Of course.
It's not communist, though. It's Islamic.
Yeah, and it's not a plot. They're doing it in the open. They're done with England. They already got it.
Well, and that's the thing, and I've done a fair bit of research into it, and like what it seems to me after the research is that it's not only, I mean, largely, it's the same thing as this liberalism epidemic. It's not only atheist, but it's actually like Satanist. And so it's not only that they don't believe in anything, they actually do believe in something, and it's the antithesis of what Western society is built on.
It's a worldwide Islamic movement. It's been around for a long time. It's nothing new, and it should not be underestimated.
And this is what Obama was doing when he brought in all of the Muslims. This is what the plan was.
Absolutely.
Do you think, I mean, personally myself, I'm not exactly a Republican, but I think, what's your opinion of, things like the Patriot Act and stuff under Bush? I mean, I personally myself, I know, I don't know if you guys know, but both of the George H.W. and George W. Bush were both in Skull and Bones, the organization.
The Patriot Act, the Patriot Act is what they used against Trump to spy on Trump Tower and harass him all these years. They were using the Patriot
used it
Act
against American citizens. That's the most important thing.
Trump's an American citizen, isn't he?
Well, absolutely. I'm not saying. I mean, of course, it's not good what they did to Trump, but more importantly, I feel like the American people have. That was like when Eric Snowden, he released all the documents about.
Well, I don't want to talk about Snowden and all that stuff today, but yeah, that's right. And you're by the way, thanks for the call. You're right, Steve. I mean, this is the new tactic. Let's stop hijacking planes and blowing crap up. Let's just move and run for city council, right? When we're on the school board, we're on the city council. Then after we're on city council, we'll run for state house, and then we'll run for governor. That's exactly what's going on here. It's really a brilliant plan, don't you think, Steve? It's working.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we're aware of it.
That's a start.
So there's no question that Zohran is going to be a complete failure with his promises in the city, right? I mean, I would say the crime's probably going to start going up soon, even though he doesn't swear. He's going to swear in on the Quran, I'm assuming, in January, right? He becomes mayor in January. He's not mayor yet. But I would imagine the crime will start increasing soon and get worse after he's in there. And things are going to start to fall apart fast in New York. And that's not going to be good for their plot. I think they were better off going for the small places that people don't see all the time, like oops, sorry about that. Like
hardly
Dearborn.
Hardly a small place.
Yeah, but when you go after Dearborn in some of these places, people aren't watching. Everybody watches New York. Oh, today after the show, a little later this morning, I'm heading over to Lighthouse Medical.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be going over there today. Yeah, I'm going to meet with John at Lighthouse Medical. We're going to record some new commercials for the show.
He's a great man.
But Lighthouse Medical, what they do is absolutely amazing. You had every neuropathy symptom in the medical books, right? And
bad.
And your doctor and you primary care physician said there's no treatment for neuropathy. You went to a neurologist, a specialist. They said there's no treatment for neuropathy. And you were suffering, man. I mean, the burning, the tingling, the dizziness, the falling down, the feeling.
Before I found Lighthouse Medical, basically the advice I was given was learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing much we can do. But John took care of that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you're suffering from neuropathy, it's so bad, you're just thinking about immediate relief. You just want to get rid of it today because you're in so much pain. So you had your treatment, and I remember I talked to you the day after your first treatment, and it was already going away. But they Lighthouse Medical rid you of all your neuropathy symptoms. We're over 3 years since that treatment, and they haven't returned. We weren't thinking about far out because you were suffering so much, you just wanted immediate relief, which you got. But here we are over 3 years later, and it hasn't returned. So Lighthouse Medical has a treatment for neuropathy. It's a treatment that works. It's a treatment that lasts. And they can help you no matter where you are in the United States. So no matter where you're located, you can give them a call and they can help you. Okay? They may even be able to help you in Canada. I'll ask them today. But certainly I know no matter where you are in the United States. Here's the number. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, because then you get the no-charge consultation. They just don't have time to do no-charge consultations all day. They still have to treat patients. But to you guys that listen to this program, you get the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right. We got time for a couple more calls before the top. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Am I on? My name is Carrie. Just wanted to point something out. I am Cuban, and back in the 60s, this is part of the Cold War against the United States. This guy is infiltrating communism and the ideals of Islam. This is total. I mean, New Yorkers are gonna get they're gonna get what they asked for, and this is gonna be a wake-up call.
Yeah.
So I really pray that they wake up and they see what they have in their hands, and this is a slap in their face, because a lot of policemen, a lot of firemen died back in during 9/11, and this is horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the enemy. We have the enemy. As the mayor of New York City, wake up, New York. Communism is cancer. There's no such thing as a free lunch. They're going to have to pay it back.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you, Brian.
All
God
right.
bless Trump.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for your call.
Oh, man. Yeah. You know, what do you think, Steve, about if we would have said on September 12th that in 25 years, the mayor of New York will be a Muslim who takes the oath on a Quran? They would have thought we were nuts. They said, New York will never elect a Muslim mayor. And here we are.
We would have been shocked.
Yeah. No one would have believed us. They'd just say, get off the air. You have no credibility. Something like that would never happen. And here it is.
Look what's happened in such a short time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know, they've forgotten 9/11. New Yorkers have forgotten the Holocaust, right? He's definitely a guy that has some mommy and daddy issues. He got too angry too quick when he didn't need mommy and daddy anymore, and he's the mayor. All right, we'll take our break for the top. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. The rest of you, hold on. The number is 888-465-2631. It's Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve's here. Back after this. All right, Steve, you there? Steve?
I'm there.
All right, we got less than a minute.
Okay.
All right, the third hour has begun. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, hang in there. So I don't know. Are you worried, Steve, about Comrade Zohran? I'm energized by it. I think this is I think we might find out we're in a better position with this guy than with Cuomo as mayor today.
Well, I think I don't underrate the amount of grief we're going to get involving this thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy. I think we'll triumph in the end. And I think you made a very good point when you said the one thing we've got going for us is, of course, the Trumpster.
Yeah.
And if anybody can lead us through the darkness into the light, it's him. So
yeah,
I've got my faith in him.
Absolutely. And this
that
is
in the gold report.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. The New York got what they wanted. So these New Yorkers that voted for this commie, they expect results. They want their free crap, and they want it yesterday. And when they realize he cannot deliver on it, they're going to turn on him on a dime. They are. I'm telling you, it's going to be chaotic.
It's not going to be smooth, that's for sure.
I don't. Dinkins, when Dinkins was mayor, it was so short. And I just don't, I remember the disaster and the crime, but New Yorkers elected Dinkins, but they turned on him. He was only mayor for one term, and I was in New York.
I was in New York that year. Boy, he destroyed my town, I'll tell you that.
And the people turned on him. I don't remember what his campaign promises were. I don't know. It's been so long, I can't remember. I didn't.
Yeah, but I wouldn't compare this threat to Dinkins, because Dinkins is small potatoes next to this.
Compared to the Intifada.
Yes. Dinkins was just incompetent.
Well, so's Mamdani.
He's incompetent, but there's a whole bunch of people that know just what they're doing connected with the Islamic movement.
Really? You really, Steve, you really think that, now listen, he's made some promises that seem kind of trivial, but not to these bums, right? Do you really think?
I'll tell you what I really think. I really think if you look at what's going on around the world, you have your answer. He's already, we're not talking about him accomplishing anything here in the United States that the Islamic movement hasn't already accomplished elsewhere around the world.
Steve, when he can't deliver on, as an example, the free buses, he can't deliver on that. He can't deliver on it.
No, he's going to have all kinds of grief. That's not the point. But
there's going to be an uprising in New York when these bums that voted for this commie go on the bus, and you got Richie the bus driver up there saying, "No, you got to pay the fare." It's gonna be a mess. He's going to have a rebellion on his hands. What about when the prostitutes are on the streets, all over the place, openly, because he's decriminalizing prostitution? And orders police.
Well, the only place where you and I disagree is, I'm trying to tell you that what we're going to be dealing with is not the same New York as you're dealing with today. It's going to change the whole culture in New York.
There's two things I see immediately happening. Okay, and what I mean is a total collapse of the system of New York. Crime's going to go up, and the people are massively. And the people, like one of his things is he doesn't want the police to enforce the crimes against robberies up to $1,000. So when people start robbing the stores in New York, you're going to have a massive crime wave because, well,
a lot of this extreme stuff that he's talking about, he's not going to be able to do on his own. These are just, that's a wish list for him.
But the people expect him to. So they're going to start behaving as if the buses are free, crime up to $1,000 and theft is allowed, prostitution and pimping's allowed. They're going to proceed as if it's all been done when it hasn't. He's going to have an uprising on his hands.
I didn't say he is going to have an easy road of it, but it's a mistake to underestimate the threat.
It's going to be, like when the communists took over in the Soviet Union, they had some collapse after the revolution because they couldn't deliver bread. And these people expect a lot of free crap, and so far as the rent freeze, what's going to happen if you're a property owner right now, you're going to raise the rent as much and as high as you can right now, because once he's in, you're not going to be able to do it. So when that's just as an example. So when things like that start happening, he's going to. I'm telling you, it's going to be it's going to become an anarchy. Is what New York is going to be. It's going to become an anarchy. All right, you want to take some more calls?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dean from Mega Mart.
Hey.
Hey, Dean.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Yeah, you know, these guys, it seems like Jay Jones got elected. I mean, what's wrong? We've got a demented
Jay Jones, did you
Democrat
see him?
Party.
Did you see him at the polling location kicking the dog yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
did you see that, Steve? He
what?
kicked a dog. He fantasizes about murdering people. Now he's the top cop.
I mean, how do I can't even put it in perspective. What kind of person would vote for this guy?
A Democrat.
You know, but I mean, that just goes to show you that you put a D in front of Hitler, they vote him in.
Listen, for the most part, all these victories, Democrats beat themselves, right? They won in blue cities and states.
Right, I agree.
They didn't
defeat.
they didn't defeat MAGA or Republicans to speak of.
It was a red wave. I'll input. Yeah, it was a red wave. We got all the swing states. We got the majority of the counties that were needed to win. But Harris only won by a quarter, or lost by 250,000 total votes. So, in those specific areas, this crazy country right now. I mean, you're right. Obama imported Somalians to Minnesota. Now they got Omar locked in.
Yeah.
He imported them into Dearborn. They got them locked in. I mean, this is a calculated, strategic way to take over America.
And they were.
It's an organized. You got to understand. Basically, this is a religious movement.
And they, they get so many virgins for killing an anti.
They're not going that way. Listen, they're not. That's the old way.
No, I agree.
The new way is just to move and run for city council and school board, and then mayor. That's
and they
the
get
new
in
way.
there. I mean, these clowns get in there, though. I mean, who's voting for these people? They're warped.
Democrats.
Yeah. I mean, we got to pour it on for 226 because we got to win the midterms.
It's amazing. I don't have a worry in the world about this because of Trump.
Okay.
Because
I'm happy that, New Yorkers, you voted for this clown. Let's see what he can do to destroy it now. You got him.
This is what I said in the first hour of the show. Let Zohran be Zohran, and all will be well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I think that's what Trump's going to do. He's going to just say, well, you guys wanted him?
Listen, I'll give you an example. In that speech last night, he said that what is he going to do? Have the New York City Police Department surround the illegals and stop ICE? Good luck with that.
Right.
And the police commissioner they have now, he wants her to stay on. She'd be crazy to do that. So who's he going to bring in? Some Muslim guy from Dearborn or someplace?
Absolutely.
Well, how's that going to go, Steve? How's that going to go when ICE comes in?
About like it's going now.
People, listen, he got by because he doesn't look and sound so Muslim. He starts bringing the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE, into the city hall to run it. And some Muslim police commissioner that wears the Muslim. It'll wake up even liberals.
So his acceptance speech was his true colors came out. I didn't listen to it.
You should.
What you said is
you should.
I mean, he's. I just can't wait to see.
He said that he wants to. He's going to
yesterday.
take away the means that allow Donald Trump to gain his influence. He said that means he's going to seize Donald Trump's property and also to stop the next Donald Trump. He said he's talking about property seizure and.
But you understand the whole. You understand the whole political establishment in New York is basically made up of anti-Trump people. You understand that, right?
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
So that's not good. Is that going to make it easier for him or tougher for him?
If he tries to seize Trump Tower, which is what I took from his speech last night, that's not going to happen.
Well, it's going to go through the courts. He's going to do what they did last time. They gave Trump a lot of grief, if you'll recall.
Well, the people that are going to exit us, they're going to try to, because California had an export fee. If you were leaving the state, watch New York City. You want to move? Go ahead. It's going to cost you.
What did they do during the Depression, like in the Grapes of Wrath in California? They put those signs up entering California where they didn't want all the hobos coming in. What did those signs say? You know what I'm talking about? Texas is already. New York, you elected this guy. Suffer. Don't bring your crap to Florida. Or Texas.
Exactly.
You can go to California.
But the New York City guys, they should have sold their properties before he got elected, because now their values are going to drop.
Or maybe they'll go up when the Muslims come in and buy them.
Oh boy!
But anyway, when that starts to happen, we got the real estate agent.
George Colony. Yeah, I was telling people earlier. Do you think it's just a coincidence that George Colony joined us right now? We got one of the top real estate people in the history of Florida is advertising on the program. It started in this month, the month of November. You think that's just a coincidence?
Mm-hmm.
This is no, it's not. But I'll tell you this. I think this is better than if Cuomo would have become it, only because he blew his cover last night. If he would have kept up the act last night, he was so angry. I'll never mention Cuomo's name again. The way he talked.
How weak was that? How weak was that though? Candidate selection though. I mean, you had Cuomo, which is a clown, and Slee. I mean, come on. That's all. That's the best three.
Curtis Slee was a piece of garbage. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people when I was a kid I idolized, right? Mark Hamill, big never Trumper. Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Indiana Jones. He's coming out trashing Trump the other day. Now Curtis Sliwa, who was a real life superhero. I've never seen Curtis Sliwa as happy as I did last night when Mamdani won, because he's got something to fight again now. He's so happy Mamdani's mayor. It made me sick.
Oh my God.
All right, take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right, take care. Let me talk about Dr. Appleton. When I was talking about my shoulder pain earlier, but when I went to Dr. Appleton and I had this pain in my finger, the pain, you know what it felt like? You ever have arthritis, Steve?
Yes.
You know how arthritis feels to me? I don't know if this is how it feels to you. I don't have it anymore, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his robotic laser away pain treatment. But the way that arthritis felt to me was like electricity going through my fingers. It felt like electricity. It's a pain that's so damn bad. And I didn't know I had arthritis. I thought I jammed my finger, like you do when you're playing ball. And I went to see Dr. Appleton. He examined me. He says, Brian, you have arthritis. And I remember exactly what I said. I said, I'm done. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I got arthritis. That's it. And it's in my fingers. Because I remember my grandparents, they would walk around, they couldn't do any, you know what I mean, with the big knuckles and everything. I'm like, I'm done. And he says, no, the robotic laser treats that. And sure enough, he rid me of my arthritis pain, and it has not returned. And arthritis pain is awful. I mean, it'll bring tears to your eyes. And Gary that goes on the cruises, Steve?
Yep.
He had arthritis in his neck. And Dr. Appleton rid him of the arthritis pain in his neck. It's amazing. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays, and the consultation is free. So take advantage of that free, no-charge consultation, and let Dr. Appleton tell you what his laser away pain treatment can do for you. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we got a couple minutes, guys, and we'll be back, so stand by. All right, Steve, you there?
I'm there.
Okay, we got less than a minute. Less than a minute. We'll be back.
Good.
All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane's here. I'm Brian. You want to go back to the phone, Steve?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, and I will say we've had a lot of calls today. This is the third hour. I started today, Steve, at about 5:15 this morning.
Yep.
We have not heard from one happy liberal. The only liberals that have called have been pissed off, and you think they'd be excited with...
They see the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, how you doing? It's Jeff. Hey, listen, quick question. Who funded 9/11?
I don't know. I guess Bin Laden, Al Qaeda.
And who were the pilots? Where were the pilots from?
The pilots had their throats cut. The pilots had their throats cut.
No, the guys that actually flew them.
Oh, you mean the terrorists? I don't call them the pilots. What's the matter with you? Look at this guy, Steve. He's trying to do what we do. He's trying to walk me down the garden path.
Right.
Okay. Take me down. Take me down. You mean the terrorists? You call the terrorists the pilots?
Well, the terrorists were from Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Just so you're aware of that.
So what does that? What does that mean to you, Jeff? What did you just expose? What did you just expose other than common everyday knowledge?
What does that mean to you?
In fact, I'll help you. 17, let me help you.
You have to talk over me because you don't want me to make a point to you.
17.
Because that's what you're afraid of.
Oh, make your point.
Just shut your mouth for 2 seconds.
Make your
and
point.
Just let somebody talk.
Make your point, Jeff.
My point is that your buddy Trump is in bed with Saudi Arabia. That's my point, but it's okay, though, because it's Trump. It's okay that you wanted Cuomo to get in there, even though he was, he killed all those people with COVID. You still wanted him in there. And it's okay that you want Trump in there, even though he's a pedophile, and you still want him in there.
Yeah.
All right, have a great day.
Now listen to this guy. This is the no, goodbye to you. No, we hang up on you, caller. That's the guy that confronted Tom Laporta at a restaurant. Did I ever show you that video, Steve? Did I show you that video?
No.
Oh my goodness. Tom Laporta, he and his wife go out to dinner. They're waiting for their table. So they sit at the bar. They sit at the bar, and Tom's been working all day. He's got a big roofing company, and he's got his shirt on that says Laporta Contracting on it. And that guy's sitting at the bar, with his wife. And he just lays into Tom Laporta about me and you.
He's got a wife, this guy?
Well, I feel sorry for her. Yeah, he does. At least he did at the time. I felt bad because she's really, you know, she's embarrassed by this guy probably every day. She's probably so numb and used to it, you know, like a Stepford wife kind of thing going on. And he just broke out and just started going off on Tom. And they sent me a video of it. I couldn't believe. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. The guy's a real beaut, you know. All right, hold on, Steve. I got only 2,000 calls coming in. But I think you and I are, just before we go back to the phones, I think you and I are seeing this election differently. You think it's a loss, and I see it as a positive. Am I right about that?
I don't see it as a loss. I see it as going to be a tremendous challenge.
An opportunity.
An opportunity to get in touch with reality.
Mm-hmm.
When you're always better off seeing what's really going on and what the enemy's really trying to do.
See, you told me this.
Not if we take it too lightly.
You told me this years ago. We had a big thing with GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, that went on for about a year.
Yes.
With the Broward County School Board. Yeah, with the Broward County School Board. And you guys Google that and look it up online. It was an adventure. If that was happening now, I would have it all documented on video for YouTube. It would have been a great documentary, wouldn't it, Steve? Oh my goodness.
Sure would.
I was going undercover at the Gay Lesbian Community Center for meetings they were having, and these were meetings they were having to fight against Steve and me. I was an undercover gay for a while. It was crazy.
You were great.
Oh yeah. I didn't talk too much. This was before I was on YouTube and everything, so I didn't talk too much, so they didn't pick up on the voice. But But anyway, meeting at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, at the Stonewall Library, and all these gay hangouts in Wilton Manors. But I had to take the Choose Life plate off my car doing that. I had to get a new license plate so I wouldn't blow my cover. You can't have a Choose Life license plate in the parking lot of the Gay Lesbian Community Center at the Stonewall Library. They'll know you're not one of them. But anyway, at the end, we had this big thing with GLSEN and the school board, and they won the school board vote. And I was freaking out. And he said, don't worry. He said, they'll screw up. Liberals have no boundaries. And once they have a victory, they keep pushing. They'll screw up. And sure enough, they did. They did that thing with SpongeBob SquarePants, remember? And that was the end of them.
They sure did.
So I couldn't, and they did that SpongeBob SquarePants thing they did like just a couple months later. And they blew. Well, isn't that what Mamdani's going to do? Isn't he just going to push things so far?
I didn't say Mamdani's going to win anything. I just said that he's going to be. He represents a danger, and you got to be aware of it.
I'm not worried about this guy.
You can't underestimate it.
This guy, what I saw last night was a lot of things. He hates white people. He hates white people like the plague. I've never seen. The only time I've seen a Democrat talk so openly and racist is when I watched those old documentaries of the Democrats in the 50s and 60s fighting against Martin Luther King and others. You know what I mean? It was really ugly. And there's one thing he hates more than white people: American people. He hates Americans, right?
And American white people.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst. And if you watch his whole speech, it's right there. I mean, it's just like, why couldn't they figure Hitler out? He had Mein Kampf out. Just read the book, right? It was all there.
Well, look, it's going to be great for talk radio. So that's one thing
yeah.
For sure.
It's working out good today. But here's the other thing I saw, was a loser mama's boy who mommy and daddy have been dragging him along, and he's had to listen to mommy and daddy his whole life, so they would give him he's never done anything in his life, so he's been living off mommy and daddy, but now he's the big man. He's the mayor. Right? So for the first time in his life, he feels like a real man and a grown-up. And he can't control himself. Steve, when you got to watch the entire speech. It's only 22 minutes long. Not the sound bites, because when you watch the whole speech in its entirety, he is so angry, so racist, so hate. Most of these liberals are racist American haters, but they hide it, right? This guy can't hide it, and he is angry at everyone. And he's praising people and quoting people that Americans have never heard of, saying foreign words I've never heard before. It was very scary to a lot of people. And
when he starts working with his colleagues in the Congress, the squad, and that crew, it's only going to empower them. And that's really going to be fun to watch.
They're probably going to be flying to New York to have a sit down with them, the squad soon, Talib and all of them, because now they're all connected. But now they're going to come out of the closet. And one of the first things he'll do, everything he does is for the Muslim media, Al Jazeera and all that stuff, not the American media. So I'm expecting. You know how, like, when President Trump became president-elect the first time, he was holding court at Trump Tower and all these people would come? He's going to do a similar thing, but it's going to be CARE and imams and that saw sword lunatic lady, Palestinian lady. It's going to be those people that are coming, and they're going to do it in front of the cameras because they want to be on television in Saudi Arabia.
To cover, that's sure. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
All right. We got to take our bottom of the hour break. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our bottom.
Right on the button.
Yeah, we'll come back to your calls after this. All right, I'm gonna put you on hold, Steve, for a minute. Hold on. Let me, while we're waiting to come back, because we got... Hey, Barry, I'm sorry, we missed the call-in earlier. Could you fit us in a minute or two? Okay, we're in our bottom of the hour break, but when we come back, I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'll be back to you shortly. Hold on. Steve, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we got 1 minute. When we come back, we're going to have Barry. Okay, hold on.
Excellent.
Okay, hold on. Barry, we have less than a minute.
Okay.
Okay, stand by. Okay, 20 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, we're back. Steve's here. I'm Brian. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
We're awesome. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, we're at the point now, November 5th, where we're seeing a lot of the snowbirds returning. It's really officially the season now. You know, we're past Halloween. We've got the Thanksgiving coming. We're seeing all the holiday advertising, and we're hearing the music. It's that time of the year already.
Yeah.
And what that means, when we have the snowbirds down, we get a lot of people who come in and get their estate planning updated, because many of them are Florida residents. And then there's some that just wait until the very end of the season, and then they're like, oh, we'll wait till next year, and then wait till next year. So for those of you who need to have your estate plan reviewed, you've been thinking about it throughout the summer, that, hey, there's certain things that we need to have looked at, things that we might need to change. Now is the time. Come in, call us, schedule your free consultation, come to one of our free workshops, and make sure that you have that plan that works, because what's going to happen, you're going to come around to January 1st, everybody does their New Year's resolutions, and then the whole cycle starts over again. So now is the time to actually get that New Year's resolution completed. And now that the snowbirds are here, it's time to go ahead and make sure that you have a plan that's going to work to make sure that it's not just about leaving a legacy. It's also about making sure that you're cared for in case you or your spouse become disabled, mentally incapacitated, so that you have a plan and you have the right people in place who are going to take care of you and make the decisions that you would have had made yourself.
Well, two things. First, you recover from your cruises much faster than Steve and I recover from our cruises, Barry. I can tell. It takes Steve and I like 2 weeks, and then we're back. But the other thing for the snowbirds, you can actually have probate in 2 states if you don't take care of things, right?
Oh, for sure. And that's a good point. That for those of you who are snowbirds and you own property in that other state, wherever you're coming from, if you don't have it properly set up here as a Florida resident, you could end up having a probate here in Florida and a probate in that other state. So that other property, the proper way to set it up would be to set it up so that you have your Florida trust, and then to make sure that you fund and transfer the ownership of that property in whatever state, including your Florida properties, into your trust, so they won't go through probate and leave a mess for your loved ones.
That's right. Well, listen, give the Siegel Law Group a call, and remember, mention you heard Barry on the program, and you can take advantage of the no-charge in-office consultation. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back. I'm Brian. You with us, Steve?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the phones. We're talking about Comrade Zohran. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Brian. It's Joan in Tampa Bay.
Hey,
How
Joan.
you doing?
All right, Joan.
Hello, Joan.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, no, my mom moved us out in 1969 when I was 12. They started to put the gates up on the stores on Foster Avenue by us, and my mom says, we're out. She moved us to Florida. So I've lived in Florida way longer than I lived in New York City. But I still got family there, and, I would go up and visit and stuff, you know? Well, how is that man going to put gasoline in the buses if he's not charging for them?
Exactly. He doesn't know. See, when you live off of mommy and daddy your whole life, like Zohran has, where the money comes from is never on your mind. You just have that credit card mommy and daddy gave you. He doesn't understand these basic things.
Also, if he decides to do the trains for free, too, they run on electricity. How is he going to pay Con Ed?
Do you really think he pays his electric bill on his own?
I doubt that very much.
Exactly.
But, Oh, you know what? I'd like to see him handle a garbage strike, because I remember when Lindsay was mayor, there was a big garbage strike. Boy, the city was a mess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, there's another thing he's going to run into, okay? You know, you were talking about, Steve, bringing in outsiders. How are those outsiders going to work with the sanitation workers union? They're not going to talk to them. They won't even know who to talk to. I just see a disaster. I just see a complete disaster of the entire infrastructure of New York. Isn't that what happened with Dinkins?
Could you imagine the winter time?
Oh.
That because the sanitation department does the snow removal and everything. Could you see that if they were on strike? All the trash piled up and all the snow piling up.
That's exactly what I see happening. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Oh, me either. All right.
And you know what? They got what they voted for.
That's right. That's right. All right, Joan. Take care. She's a good caller. I like Joan. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Steve, but that's how I see it. I mean, didn't things collapse with Dinkins?
The place was a mess.
Exactly. And the incompetent liberals that he hired, they were New Yorkers. This guy's going to bring in out-of-towners. It's just,
well, look, his tenure is not going to be without challenge. There's no question of that.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Stephen Bryan. Good morning. It's
Hey.
AJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey,
How's it going?
Well, yeah, it's going pretty good. I think, it's nowhere near a surprise. I mean, maybe the possibility of it going the other way, but I mean, listen, it's like a dark sci-fi flick, kind of, the crescent moon, republic begins, the apple has fallen, and this guy showed himself, though, in a major, major way in that,
That's
that
right.
speech, It's like he's the Lizard of Oz, and the curtain came down, because the guy's a snake.
It'll certainly be fun to watch.
See, JJ, that's why I'm so happy this morning. When I saw that speech, I knew he blew his cover.
He really did.
He blew his cover.
I think the excitement of it got the better of him, because that is not what he should have done if he wanted to keep the lie going. He should not have done that, and so he showed us.
And that comment that he made to Trump, turn up the volume, that's some kind of code word that means F you. Some hipster millennial code word. I don't know where it comes from, but that's what he said. He said F you to the President of the United States.
Well, he is. That's his campaign strategy. He's going to be doing that to everybody in New York. I mean, what's going to happen when all the things that he promised, everything that this guy promised, I think New York is going to eat him alive when he can't deliver on anything. But it's going to be interesting to see who he blames. It's going to be Orange Man bad, Trump this, Trump that, and but the people of New York City, they're gonna find out. They just they voted for a bag of rocks. The guy's and I don't even know if he's going to make it, Brian. I know he can't be. It's strange, the politics in New York. But
and by the way, I was looking up online for this. Turn up the volume. It's a Gen Z thing, and it means you can effing suck it up. Is the exact translation? It's that's what they're saying on TikTok. You can effing suck it up.
Well, this guy, Scott Jennings called him the hood ornament. I think there's going to, it's going to be interesting, the conversations that are going to be had about this guy and the memes that are going to come out.
This is what I think. Steve and I are totally different, but again, it's your hometown, Steve, so you got a special. I'm just a tourist in New York, right? But the thing about this, these people that voted for him expect this crap, the free everything, and he can't deliver on any of it. So they're going to turn on him. They're going to turn on him quick.
Yeah. Your analogy of the dating analogy, the flowers and candy and walks in the park, and now they're married. The hammer and sickle comes out.
That's
and,
right.
These people are going to be they're going to eat them alive.
Yes.
And economically speaking, I've heard that 10%. I mean, listen, without me, I mean, Manhattan does a majority of the business. But I'll tell you this, Brian, I agree with Barbara mentioned earlier about voting fraud. And I'm just going to say, I mean, I believe that there was probably more voter fraud in this election than in any other election they've ever had.
Then why did the Democrat machine is the one that has the ability to do that? Wouldn't they have made Cuomo mayor?
No, well, here's the thing. I mean, regardless of buying, it's a business for them. It's what they
Listen,
know. It's what
listen,
they do.
Listen, JJ.
It's a business.
The New Yorkers
if
are
there's
just
money to be made. They're going to make the money. Christmas is coming.
The New Yorkers that are still in. A lot of people left. Smart people left New York in 2020 and after, right? The people that are in New York now are a bunch of communists that want free crap. Just accept it. You're letting these commies in New York off the hook. This is what they voted for.
Brian, there's a lot of those commies that work their way into the, into the government apparatus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think.
Well, listen, I got to run for our last break.
Two different criminal divisions.
You're right. You're true.
I believe that.
You're right. We got to run. We're up against the break. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. This is such a great time for us to have Coastal Weight. You know, it's been almost a year since I. Met Coastal Weight Loss Secret and Dr. Zuckerman and started losing weight. I've lost over 35 pounds. And remember, I did this without exercise, without starving myself, eating foods I would normally eat, and without taking any pills or injections. And you can tell when you see people on television, celebrities that take those pills and injections, they do not look well, do they? You don't want to look like that. It's like with facelifts. You don't want somebody to say, oh man, what a great facelift. You want them to just think you look great and younger, right? Well, that's what you get. With Coastal Weight Loss Secret, you look natural. Not like those people that have, what do they call that? The Ozempic face and stuff like that. You look like me, natural. Give them a call and schedule your free consultation. 561-247-6300. Lose that weight before the holiday parties and the Thanksgivings and the Christmas and the Hanukkahs and everything. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. Schedule your free consultation. Also online at coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve, and get William. Hold on. Hey there, yeah, I can. You sound great. Hold on. Steve, you there?
I'm here.
We got about a minute, and then we'll have William.
Sounds good.
All right, William, we have 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, hold on. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals are up today after yesterday's big drop of $69.30 on gold. After trading in a range of $3,928 on the low to $4,007 on the high, gold closed out the day at $39.3110, down by the lowest area. $69.30 down. Silver was down 93 cents at $47.08 the ounce. Platinum lost $31 at $1,531, and palladium was down $54 at $13.74.
And right now, everything's reversed, back up. Gold trading in a range overnight of 39.29 to 39.88. And right now we're at 39.74 on gold. That's up $42.90. Silver up 72 cents at $47.90 the ounce. Platinum up $20 at $15.55. And palladium up $36 at $1,410. So the market's still trading in these ranges and giving us some little buying opportunities from time to time.
Absolutely. Now, you don't just sell, you buy the metals, and we talk about that a lot, but there's things that you buy that aren't just the metals. What are some of the other things people can bring in and turn into money?
Yeah, we buy, of course, all kinds of jewelry, watches, paper money, collectible paper money, rare coins of any form, world gold, world coins. We handle it all from ancients to modern day coinage.
Yeah, and what about, of course, watches, right?
Yes, indeed.
Watches.
The name brand watches like Patek Philippe, Rolex, Vacherons, APs. They're all very popular.
And what about old jewelry that has diamonds on it?
Yeah, we buy diamonds also. We have people in our staff that are diamond experts, and we can handle your diamonds if you're interested in selling, or if you need a diamond, we can get it for you.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, listen, William Youngerman opens up at, you learned something new. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1, Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can also call, and you can do all your transactions over the phone and through the mail, no matter where you're located in the world. 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. And find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, take care, take care. All right, we are back. You want to take more calls, Steve?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Celebrating great victories here for Trump yesterday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve from Brooklyn, now living in Florida.
Hey, Steve.
2 points I'd like to make. New Yorkers have the shortest memories in the world. They forget that after 9/11, parts of Brooklyn, big parts of Brooklyn, Atlantic Avenue, where the Muslims were going crazy. They were celebrating the downing of the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Forgot it all. They forgot that all. Second thing is, you're forgetting the generation that's being brought up 25 years ago. These little Muslims, they have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids each, growing that population to a point where Americans are having 1.2 children per family. So you're talking about the taking over of the United States, or you're taking over New York. It's right there in a nutshell.
Well, see, you bring up a good point. The birth rate and the death rate are almost the same now. And that's one of the things President Trump's working on. And that's one of the reasons that the left and the enemies of this country, China and the rest, pushed all this gender and gay stuff. The young people of childbearing years most of the sex they're having is not the kind of sex that leads to reproduction, right? Right. So
they've had 25
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
They've had 25 years to indoctrinate all these kids that they're having.
Yeah. So with all this gender stuff and gay stuff and everything, they're not getting pregnant as much as they used to. That's one of the things Charlie Kirk was talking about, telling people they got to have babies and more babies. Yeah, it's true. No, you're right about that. It's a big. But all of these problems, it's all Obama. You look back at Obama's presidency, and it seems pretty non-eventful. It was very eventful. It was just all in the dark meeting rooms at night. The spy operation on Trump, the coup on Trump, bringing the millions of Muslims. They did a massive recruitment of school teachers. So Obama was doing a lot. It was just in the dark, behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they want to vote for somebody whose name is Hussein Obama, they're going to have it.
Well, if you remember when they first were talking about Obama on The View, do you remember what Joy Behar called him?
Oh, Joy Behar.
No, this was Joy Behar on The View, called him Barack Osama. Barack Osama. Remember that?
Yeah, she misspoke.
No,
Right.
Well, we never, what kind of, and that's what they did. All right, appreciate the call.
Well, thanks for taking my call. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried. I know all the things that the caller said, you said, it's all true. But we have Donald Trump to combat all this. So if we didn't have Trump, I wouldn't be so happy today. You know, and in a way, Steve, if Cuomo would have become mayor, Cuomo's whole job would have been to get nominated to be the Democrats' nominee for president, and he could have been if he. So we could have done more long-term damage with Cuomo than with this guy. This guy's going to be exposed real quick, and he's so arrogant. Because mommy and daddy always told Comrade Zohran everything he did was perfect with the participation trophies and all that stuff. He thinks that everything he does is perfect. He doesn't know. He's too arrogant, narcissistic, and just plain stupid to know that he's incompetent. And, you become mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. It's not the same thing as being mayor of New York City. You got to be able to do stuff.
Yeah, he's a little smug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And once he goes down there to City Hall, you got to be able to govern and dictate. And I wonder, the people that run these different agencies in New York City, are they going to start retiring? Like the police commissioner, as an example.
Well, that's going to be an exodus of police. That's what I worry about.
That's his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And
well, yes and no. I don't know. It depends.
Well, Florida has great offers for New York City police and Chicago police. You get to keep your pension transfers to Florida. They get great incentives.
Poor friends in New York are going to be going to be under the gun.
It's their fault. They voted for this guy. Go talk to Curtis Sliwa. Right? Curtis Sliwa didn't have enough of the vote to change it. Because Mamdani got the last count I saw. Now this could have changed because I haven't looked since it went on the air, but it was like 50.3 or something. Last time I checked was like 5 a.m. But if
it was a bigger majority than I had thought or than I expected.
Yeah, but if Curtis Sliwa and Adams and Cuomo joined forces a few weeks ago against him, mobilized together, he may have been defeated. But
possibility. If it was just one-on-one
but he
against
wasn't.
those, no, it wasn't.
But
they weren't able to pull that off.
I hold Curtis Sliwa responsible for it, though. He solely is responsible for this. And when you see, I'm sure you'll see it on the news today. When you see Curtis Sliwa on television at the concession speech, does he look like a happy guy or what? I can't believe how excited he is. He is so excited that Zohran won because he's got relevance now. He's got something to fight against, I guess. I don't know. But he didn't seem
I'm sure
worried.
He's picked up a job in the process, I'm sure.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. But, when I don't know if it'll start today or next week, but, today's only Wednesday. But
are you surprised not to have heard from Trump yet?
No, we did last night. He said, he responded to all of it. He said because he wasn't on the ballot. He didn't campaign for anybody, if you notice. He didn't campaign for Winsome Sears or any of these people. And these were blue states, blue cities with mostly, blue voting blocks. He wasn't campaigning. He said vote. He gave some mild endorsements, but he didn't do any rallies or anything like that. And he said Trump wasn't on the ballot. He responded last night. Oh, let me tell everybody before we go about Friendly Tire in Margate. At Friendly Tire in Margate, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. And I want to tell you, that is on common sizes on some of the most common vehicles that are on the road. And when I say out the door and on the road, what I mean by that is Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that Friendly might quote you over the phone is out the door and on the road. He can get all the name brands you know and love. If you have run flats like I have on one of my cars, oh man, the lowest prices on run flats. He has thousands of good used tires in stock. And I run into listeners over there with every type of vehicle. Sometimes rust buckets, I don't know how they made it. I was over there the other day, Steve, and one of our listeners was over there with a Maserati. So people from the Steve Kane Show go from all economic backgrounds because It's just a great price on tires. And you don't want to be driving around on bald tires. You never have to again. He also does tire repairs. 954-977-9445. Give Friendly Tire a call. Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. He'll take really super good care of you and extra time. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. Yeah, so this is a great time, Steve. I am so, and it looks like Trump's bringing the Republicans together. This has not been confirmed unless it's happened in the last little bit, but it looks like the Republicans are going to use the nuclear option in the Senate. And you know, which
got to do something.
Yes, of course. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Right? Be held hostage by these Democrats forever? Why? What's the point of having the majority if you don't use it? Right? You know. So I hope they I hope they do that. But President Trump, he said, this is one of his tweets. This was right after midnight, and so it begins. That was a good one. And so it begins. And then another one he tweeted. This is exactly what he said. Trump wasn't on the ballot, and the shutdown were the two reasons Republicans lost last night, according to pollsters. That was what the president said. I don't see it really as a loss as much as others do, but in the end, adversity is when there's adversity with Trump, that's when he's at his best, right?
I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning. And if you're on hold, you'll be first on the line on tomorrow's program. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane has been here. We've been talking about Comrade Zohran all morning long. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. 49 years. That's crazy. Long time. God bless America. Yep, that's right. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump, and God bless Charlie Kirk. See you tomorrow. All right, guys, we're out of time for today. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you next time.